Почему не могу избавиться от мысли о тебе? Почему мне так понравилось, ударила любовь по голове? Почему не могу расслабиться и просто танцевать? Почему так получается? Я так люблю, хочу тебе сказать. Наверное, потому что все это мои чувства одновременно радостно. И почему-то грустно. Наверное, потому что все это мои чувства одновременно радостно. И почему-то грустно.
Вопрос: почему мне стало не хватать тебя? Я думал, это не всерьез. А теперь я не могу прожить и дня. Это перегруз, это передоз. Ну почему? Переключиться совсем не могу. Просто тону, иду я ко дну. Хочу лишь тебя я одну. Ну почему?
Наверное, потому что все это мои чувства одновременно радостно. И почему-то грустно. Наверное, потому что все это мои чувства одновременно радостно. И почему-то грустно. Почему не могу избавиться от мыслей о тебе? Почему мне так понравилось, ударила любовь по голове? Почему не могу расслабиться и просто танцевать? Почему так получается? Я так люблю, хочу тебе сказать. Наверное, потому что все это мои чувства одновременно радостно. И почему-то грустно. Наверное, потому что все это мои чувства одновременно радостно. И почему-то грустно.
Дихати, хотіти. Я припиняти. Розмова. Я натискати. Відлік. Тільки. Майбутнє. Готовий.
what is going on? My name is Adam Thursby. Yeah, welcome to Box 3 Motorsports fundraising race for Ukraine. We are raising money today for the Ukraine Crisis Appeal by the British Red Cross Society. I want to thank everybody for being here. We're going to get it kicked off with practice and qualification here soon. And then get ready 2 hours, 24 minutes of racing at Spa. We've got 65 teams registered. This is going to be hype. I cannot wait. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Love seeing you guys all here. Great to see every one of you. We're going to kick this off right. The music you're hearing today is all Ukrainian music. We're here to support that country and help out the way we can, right? Not everybody can be there. Not everybody can do what they can, but we can do what we can. And if that means raising some funds, by all means, exclamation point charity in the chat. That is where your cash should go today. I appreciate the subs. The community appreciates the subs. I know a lot of people are renewing right now. I had to renew mine, but I did it like days ago. So again, any funds today, please hit exclamation point charity in the chat. That's what we're all about. So again, thank you for everyone being here. This has got to be absolutely fantastic. And you're going to see me moving my head around. Just waiting to hear from Will right now to make sure the server is up. And once I know we're good, we will join in there and be all set. Perfect. That was the message I was waiting for. So we're going to get in there. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're having a decent day. As you can see, we've already hit 45% of our goal. Like, the race hasn't even started yet. Do I need to up the goal? Should I be upping the goal? I don't know. I could up the goal. We can do that. Let's get started first, and then we'll worry about doing that afterwards, right? Oh, everything's going weird. As we get started for a little 10-minute free practice, just let the drivers get in and get started driving around. As you can see right now, 55 drivers on track today. Most of them still sitting in the pits at this point, but they continue to join. It's going to be a hell of a race at Spa for the next 2.5 hours. This is absolutely fantastic, and I love seeing this come together like this. And yeah, Dunn, you said it, and I got to bring it up before we kick over to the race cam. Everybody can thank Will Green for this. That cat has put in more work in the last 2 days than I think most of us put in a week preparing for a race, during the course of the week. He has just blown this out of the water, along with Kevin Huffman, doing a fantastic job promoting, getting drivers in for this fantastic race today. Really building the grid, and us having an opportunity to see these guys drive from all sorts of communities coming together to support this cause. So thank you so much to both of those gentlemen, and for everyone else here. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you to all the drivers coming to put this together today and give us a great race. Let's hope we keep it clean. I think we're going to, but a lot of new drivers. There's a lot of people here I don't know, because this is not just a Box 3 thing. We've brought an entirety of the sim racing community together to kick this off today. I want to thank everyone for being here, but let's get kicked over now as we get ready here for today's race with a little bit of free practice. We'll get going through the lists here in just a moment. As always, takes a little bit to get things set up before a race. Liso DeFranco, new driver to Box 3. Welcome. Again, it's it's going to be so hard for me today to know or to remember these names. I don't know a lot of these guys, but one thing I can tell you, you're going to see some fantastic liveries out there on track today in support of the Ukraine. And hopefully some great clean racing. And the donation alerts are working, so we can keep an eye on that today, ladies and gentlemen. Oil Ball with the subs. Thank you, sir. And again, folks, don't forget what we're here for. We get ready for today's race. Bryn Evans sitting and waiting right now. Try and take a walk down through here. As these guys set times, the list gets jumbled, but I'm going to do my best to walk down through. Bruce Addison, Rubber Bandits Racing, join us. Now remember, this is a team race, meaning some of these guys are paired up. They are, in fact, there will be driver swaps during the course of this race. However, a lot of folks are running it by themselves. They're going to do the entire race solo. So we have to keep an eye on those team standings. I don't have anything that directly correlates it in front of me. I'll do my best to keep an eye on that for you, though. But Bruce Addison right now in free practice, setting our fastest lap at a 2:19.9. Philip Piak right behind him with a 2:20.885 thus far. But DeFranco jumping up to a 2:27. Oliver Thompson on track today. Team Glory to Ukraine. We get a look at some of the fantastic liveries that have been put together specifically for today's race. Dorizio, Carlo, Esports Endurance. Alexander Heim still sitting in the pits, no doubt waiting for qualification to get started here in just about 3.5 minutes. Blaine Hall, Outroot Racing, out in an Audi today. I gotta say, I'm happy there are a good number of Audis on track today. There he is right now, the man who put this together, Will Green. Gonna go out and drive today. Brent Willamot, Turn 1 Pro Racing, joining us. Sam van de Bruggen. Nicholas Hurt out as well. Danny Hendricks out in the Aston Martin today. Lee King McGee joins us in the McLaren. With Thomas, I'm going to say Thomas because I will mispronounce that last name. I guarantee it. Out in another McLaren. Diedzik, Adrian. Ferrari on track today. Yoshi Scoble joins us. Rick Pixel. A lot of McLarens on track today, so I'm going to see how they handle against each other. With the M4 having been, folks want to call it a nerf, but having a BOP applied, not as many M4 drivers as we've seen in the past in the league. But a lot of people switching back when they go back to something else, going back to that McLaren. Tobias Gable, one of Box 3's faster PC drivers, joining the race today. James Beesing out as well. Softic Adrian from Maniac Mavericks Racing. Ralph Vandermeer. Don't forget, folks, why we're here today. Exclamation point charity in the chat. We'll get you the link you need to donate to the British Red Cross to support their mission in the Ukraine. Just about 1 minute left here in our free practice session. We will kick off with a 20-minute qualification to get ready for today's race. Again, I'm looking now, 65 drivers on track. Clueless Geezer back again. One of our favorite Box 3 drivers. Robert Lewis from 949 Sim Racing joins us today. Shout out to those guys and their support. If you're looking for great racing content and Box 3 isn't around, 949 is somewhere you can always go to find that on Twitch. free practice comes to the end. Most of our drivers now heading into the pits. So the fastest time we've seen thus far during our free practice, and again, counts nothing for the race, but is from Patrick Lipka at a 2:18.2. Everyone else below him in the 2:19 range. So Lipka definitely holding advantage as we head into qualification. And we'll see some of these guys didn't even go out on track during the free practice. Others maybe didn't have an opportunity to set that fastest lap, only catching, you know, 1, maybe 2 flying laps at the most, and weren't 100% happy with them. But now they'll have an opportunity to go in, make some adjustments, come back out, ready for qualification here in the next minute. Our drivers looking to maximize that free practice. We get ready to head into the pits. An amazing sight to see on the grid today here at Spa. I've never participated in a race, driving or commentating, where I've seen this many vehicles in the paddock at one time. Absolutely great to see so many drivers coming together to support a great cause. Folks, don't forget, you know, this isn't just about watching some sim racing today. It's not just about hanging out with other drivers and having fun. It's about raising funds for a worthy cause. Tell your family, tell your friends, have them come watch. They might enjoy it. You never know, you might get someone else into the hobby just by having an opportunity to check us out today. As we wait for times to start coming in, you know, 65 drivers on track, it's going to be difficult. We've got all different classes here. All, you know, we got speedsters, we got aliens, we've got the guys that aren't maybe so fast, the AM class drivers like myself who can't always keep up. So it's going to be interesting to watch the drivers spread out and have an opportunity in these next 18 now minutes left to set a qualifying lap. Some of them still in the pits. I wonder how many drivers are going to simply start from the back of the pack and decide that, you know what, I don't want to be in the possible mess that could be Eau Rouge up through Radio. I'm going to go ahead and start in the back and see what happens. No oil. I will not be doing shots to raise money. I'll tell you what, you get Bubs in here with me and we could have that conversation. But more than likely, no. And I don't know where he's at. I think he's working today, so I doubt he's going to be able to join me. Don't worry, peanut butter. It's Johnny Walker Red Scotch whiskey today. We're all set. Hyped up to watch some driving. This is absolutely fantastic. Again, I don't recall ever being a part of something this size. So many people watching, so many drivers on track today. We're going to have a fantastic time as we wait for times to start coming in. Again, really a toss-up watching from where I am because so many of these guys come from outside the league I don't know them. You know, normally during our normal PC league, we have 20 to 30 drivers on track. You get to know them over time. You know who the fast guys are. You know who the AM class drivers are. We've got so many registrants today that are wild cards to me that it's going to be very hard to describe what I'm seeing up here, but we're going to do our best to keep up with all the action as we always do. We please have a closer look at the livery, at some of the special liveries. Well, we can certainly get as close as we can to these vehicles and go down through. No times haven't been set yet. We got to go find them all. But Alexander Heim. What a nice livery there. Love that that running paint impact. Will Green, very understated, but still excellent to see. One from DeFranco there. Nicholas Hurt still sitting in the pits, apparently deciding to forego qualification. Can't always say I blame some of these guys, given what we see, particularly at Spa in the first lap. Time's now starting to come in, so we're going to go up and jump up and take a look there. So again, Lipka with that 217 is currently sitting on the pole but only holding sector 1 with a 40.8. Now, right behind him and sitting and going back to the pits, but King Magee sitting at a 217.9, so only 0.2 off the pace. And we will bring up that timing screen before the end of qualification today. So far though, two drivers with that 217. Willamont sitting out now with a 218.7, currently sitting in third. Not by much though, as Azealia from Simulation Esport GT3 is at a 218.8, so again just about 1/10 off of Willamott's pace. Calb certainly currently sitting in fifth with a 218.9. From there we drop back into the 219s. No matter what, very fast times at Spa. A long circuit through the hills of Belgium. Bring up that track map real quick just to show how crowded, first of all, how crowded the track is today. Second of all, to give you an idea of what the circuit looks like. Of course, the big ones, Eau Rouge, Radion. The bus stop coming in at the end can cause issues as well. Calb heading back out now, currently sitting in fifth. See if they might be able to get in a little bit tighter. Bryn Evans out on track today, yet to set a time during qual. Right now, the top 29 drivers all having set times. Patrick Wilk. Steph Pools in the Porsche today. Lipka now extending his lead just a bit with a 217.4, capturing all three purple sectors. And that Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. King McGee and the McLaren. And again, we said there are a lot of McLarens out there today. Still a lot of BMWs, a lot of M4s on track, but you can see that BOP that's been applied, 100% controlling what we saw, you know, in our league earlier this year with the M4 just dominating any circuit it was on. Now, not quite so much, right? Just under 12 minutes left to go in today's qualifying session. Lipka continues to lead. King McGee in second. Off to Adrian. Again, Team Maniac Mavericks. Currently sitting at a 2:19.5. Yes, folks, I'm going to continue to remind you, do not forget why we're here today. Racing for Ukraine. 2.4-hour endurance event. Raise money. The Red Cross mission to the Ukraine. Everyone knows what's going on over there. Obviously, there are those who can do so much to help, but this is what we as a league felt we could do, and everyone lend their abilities. Be able to bring attention to this. And provide by our abilities what we can. Oliver Thompson out today in the Aston. Fantastic blue and yellow Ukrainian livery. So here, just during qualification, ladies and gentlemen, we've already reached 81% of our goal. I really think we can blow it out of the water. If you're watching today, you're going to enjoy this race. Think about it. Give it a thought. I ask you, anything you can do is going to help. Doesn't matter where you're from. Doesn't matter the dollar. Doesn't matter if it's $10. Doesn't matter if it's $100. Anything you can do is going to help. The Red Cross brings support to the folks in the Ukraine. A bit of a toss-up here. Will Green now up into third, dropping his time to a 2:18.4. Willamont now sitting in fourth with a 2:18.6. So all of our top runners very close together. Even with Lipka sitting at that 2:17.4. P2 half a second off pace. But we see behind them from Will Green all the way, we have to go all the way down to Calb in 10th. Those 8 drivers are all in within a second of each other, right? All in that 2:18 range. As we continue to watch qualifying, the guys get faster. They go in, they make changes. Maybe they change tire pressures or make the adjustments they need to run. Now, as near as I know, temperatures are going to stay the same throughout this race. 22 ambient C, or 22C ambient, 30-degree track temp. Of course, we're going to see a little bit of flux there, but a nice warm track to warm those tires up on and allow them to dial in those pressures during qualification today. I'm sure we're going to continue to see these times tighten up. Calb now moving into 7th. And that 2:18 time frame now goes all the way down to 10th, with Kadzila sitting in 10th right now in the Bentley. But again, 2:18.8, our top, 8 drivers right there, all sitting in that 1 second time frame. Thank you to Full Boost Racing for your donation today. Thank you so much. DJ, Oil Ball, all you guys. DT Bubs jumping in. Look at DT Bubs going crazy. Bubs, are you working? Bubs, you gotta tell me in the chat if you're working or not. If you're not working, you should join me in here. Look at now that 2:18. Azealia getting bumped down to 11th, but still, all those times so tight in that top 10. And again, even our 2:19 drivers, if we look at that 2:19 second, right? We started in P12 with Tobias Gable. To find somebody outside of 2:19, we've got to go all the way down to P27, Danny Hendricks, Big Boy Racing. So again, we're gonna have a lot of battles today. I'm gonna do my best to keep up with all of them for you guys. We'll get the replays going. Catch as many as we can. Put it together for you guys. With Lipka out driving right now, we're going to go on board with him as I take a quick step away before we get this race kicked off. We'll leave you on board with Patrick Lipka. And he's decided to take it through the grass, so I don't know if we'll be able to stay on board with him or he's going to drop it back to the pits. Bryn Evans now up into 8th place. Another fantastic Ukraine living. We'll go right on board with Bryn as he finishes out a lap, see if he stays out for another one for us. Squealing it through the bus stop as we get ready to run one more on board with Bryn Evans. Currently sitting in 10th. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Bryn continuing to push, sitting right at his fastest time right now. Hasn't scrubbed it out yet. We'll see if he can get a little bit ahead. He's riding right on that line. Losing time through the bus stop. That will not beat his fastest. Lipka continues to hold pole position at this point. The 2:17.452. Also holding purple across all 3 sectors. King McGee sitting in second with, again our only other 217 today at a 2:17.990. Bulls are jumping up front now to P3 with a 2:18.187. Would more than likely love to join the 217 club here today. Needs to worry about Addison right now, though. Addison running just about 3/10 ahead on his fastest at a 2:18.3, which would put him up into P3. Edison having lost time there now. Gonna fall back. This will not be his fastest lap. Hanging up in traffic. Wilmot currently sitting in 10th, but again, someone who's about 4/10 up on their fastest with 1:15 left to go in today's qualifying. Before we get ready for today's race to start, let's do a check. Currently sitting at 91% of our target goal today of $500, ladies and gentlemen. We hit 500 before the race. 1, I do a shot. 2, Bubs gets in here. And 3, we're going to raise that up to 1,000. We're going to see if we can hit $1,000 today. Bubs, if you're setting up and you do want to join in here, let me know, sir. Just drop yourself into one of the VCs at Box 3, and then let me know you're in, and I will drop you into the commentary channel. Andrea De Molin, Optimum Motorsports, currently sitting in 8th. Qualifying runs down. Let's go take a look. I lose Oh. There we go. Lipka still sitting in first. Okay. Things got weird. Lipka still sitting in first. Brought the time down, though, with a 2:17.150. Super fast. That puts King McGee 8/10 off the pace. But still, only those two sitting in the 2:17 club, unless we have a late runner here, which is always possible. Willamot bringing himself back up into 3rd with that last run at a 2:18 and basically flat. Bolzer going to share row 2 with Willamot at a 2:18.1. Addison and Bourdon going to share row 3. Got a Bentley and a Ferrari. And Kedzelia and Bichik in row 4. Will Green and Calb sharing row 5 today. Dalmolin and Evans row 6. Filipek, Stovich, row 7. My pronunciation has to get better for these international races, ladies and gentlemen. I will admit that. 100%. We will take another quick look at that once the race waiting to get underway. But with qualifying laps at the end, you always see a late runner jump up there. Our drivers head into the pits, waiting the start of today's race. Qualifying now completed as we wait the start of today's race, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're going to do our best to keep up with all the action. It's not always easy. Just now coming into the pits. Fantastic to see this many drivers out there. Look at that grid. The paddock is full. The track will soon be full. I mean, you guys saw that track map earlier, and again, we'll bring it up later in today's race. Just a packed course, and when you can fill Spa like that, you're doing something the right way. The entire paddock just loaded. Loaded. One rule says with blue and yellow. Fantastic to see. So many drivers coming out to support a great cause. Thank you. You know what? Not just to the drivers, but let's thank the people. Let's thank all of you folks watching right now. Take a quick check. I got to go back here and put myself on stream, and I don't really like to during the race. But if you take a look right there, ladies and gentlemen, I can see it on my screen. $483.90, 96.8% of our goal. If you hit that $500 mark before the start of this race, number one, take a shot. Number two, Bubs is going to join me. We're going to get him in here one way or another, and y'all will love Bubs. I promise you that. And number three, we're going to up that limit to $1,000. We're going to see if we hit $1,000 during today's race, because I think it's important we try and double that goal. Let's do it. We drop on grid, getting things ready to go. All the way up front to Lipka, and we can drop all the way down. 65 drivers again, and look at all of the blue and yellow. Great to see. Humphrey Wangle Snatcher back on track today. So great to have that guy back at Box 3. That is a long grid, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the next 2 hours and 24 minutes. Race kicking off here in about 30 seconds. We will do one full formation lap. After that, the green lights will fly. 3 mandatory pit stops, driver changes with a 40-minute stint limit. Blue, I know you're sitting right now. Let me know if you'd like me to drop you down, or if you can just drop in. That's up to you. But I see you're muted and deafened, so I didn't want to bug you. As we get ready for today's race, the drivers spread out for the formation lap. A lot of things to watch here today, folks. Again, you know, as we talk about Spa, a lot of folks watching are going to know about Spa. They're going to know what Spa can be about, right? Where the problems are, where things can happen. You know, just the kind of things that can happen at Spa. So first thing we got to talk about is, of course, Eau Rouge Radio right after the start line. You're going down the hill. You're flying. You're going quick right, quick left. And it's up a hill, and it's scary. And Blue knows, he's here with me now.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's not always fun, right?
No, it's I've done it in F1 cars. I've done it in GT3 cars, and no, it's a very challenging turn complex, if that's what you want to call it. It kind of drives your skill level way up.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you're prepared for it for sure. So.
And able to handle it too, right? Like I hear so many guys say full out. No, all the way down. You don't lift it. You don't lift through radio. Yeah, you know you do if you need to. You lift through radio.
It tests what you have in your pants. That's for sure.
And afterwards, you might have something different in your pants than when you started. So
yeah, I hope these guys have brown race suits on for sure. It's a fun track. It's a beautiful track. Every game that I've played so far that's had it, it's always gorgeous.
It is.
It's a track that I would love to go to in real life. And,
oh yeah, this is on my bucket list.
The Ardennes, so yeah, absolutely.
It's on my bucket list to go to the 24 hours. So now after that though, we come up to Kemmel Straight, and this is what I was talking about during the drivers meeting. One, I think that in a race this size with this many drivers is just as nerve-wracking as coming into Les Combes and through Malmedy, because you're coming down this long straight. All the cars are going to be going over 250 kilometers an hour, and you've got to bring it down fast to basically go through what's a right, left, right immediately. right? So I mean, you've got to bring it down, and with this much traffic, I'm really hoping we can do that today.
Yeah, that's going to be the fun part. The amount of drivers that you got going through all these turns, and you got the Spa is always a lot of fun because you have some high speed corners, some really technical stuff. You got some straights. It makes it for a lot of good racing, and you have to make sure that you're doing the right things at every single corner. And with all these guys on the track, it's going to make it very interesting. And of course, at the end of the day, the big thing is everybody has fun, right? Let's hand out some participation ribbons, and yes, everybody has fun, win or lose.
That's right. So let's talk about it real quick. Lipka and King McGee going to share row 1 again, as we said. Willamette and Volzer row 2. Addison and Bourdon in row 3. And Blue, if you can pronounce these names better than me, please do, sir. Zila, Dichik in row 4. Greeny.
I got Greeny.
I got Greeny. Yeah, I got Greeny. Yeah.
I think it's Yensu.
Yensu. Yeah, in the BMW. Gonna share row 5.
Probably absolutely.
We're horrible. I know,
yeah.
and I feel bad.
Can
but
you share your screen for me, by the way?
I can try. Let's hope we don't break anything.
Oh shit.
You never know. We might break stuff.
But a big shout out, if you haven't already, to Will Greeny. He's obviously driving, but he's also the one that put all of this together. Essentially, with, of course, some help from some other guys, but really good job done by him. And kudos to him before we get start racing.
Yeah, we'll stack this all up in 2 days and just had it all set. So hats off to that guy. As we jump back out front, the drivers lining up now in double file. Gonna come through La Source. Hopefully the slowest time for the last time today. As we get ready for the green flag to drop. Everyone lined up now. We'll drop back a little bit. Again, we're going to try and catch all the action we can, ladies and gentlemen. Do our best. And we've got a green flag. Let's go racing at Spa. Raise money for Ukraine.
4 minutes.
Up through Eau Rouge, the driver's head. And so far, so good. Look at that. We're going 3 and 4 wide, and everybody keeping it clean.
A little bit off-track moments, but
yeah,
I'd much rather have that than some crashes, right?
Absolutely. But even towards the back of the pack, I mean, I've got some yellow flags where folks went off, but still, nothing too terrible as we get all the way already coming through Lecombe. Lipka running away with it, but King McGee able to hold on to second just barely. This is where the battle is right now. Volzer, Willamette. Volzer dropping back.
And this is that part of that track that I was talking about where you got to make sure that you're the technical part of it, that you're doing the right thing through every corner, because through here you can really make some huge mistakes and it can cost you. But so far,
side by side right now.
They're doing a great job. So
great clean racing thus far. Zila able to pull it out and stay ahead. We got a wide runner.
And again, rather go wide than make contact.
Than
right?
make that contact, right? I mean, but I'm looking at my grid right now. Everybody's within 2 1/10 of each other. I mean, I don't know how we keep up with this. Crazy at the beginning of a race.
Yeah, we should see some time spread out as these guys hit the pits and things like that. Maybe we'll get some incidents, some bumping and grinding going on. You know, Rubbin's racing, boys. But yeah, look at all these guys. Also, I believe we hit donation goal.
We did.
If I'm not correct. So.
We did. We hit the donation goal. So we kept a look at Adrian Bourdon here from SOP Esports Racing. As everyone tightens up into the bus stop with a little nudge. A bit of a bump. Addison now jumping out ahead.
Yeah, he saw that there was a little gap there, and you could see that there was an opportunity, but
is bus stop the best place? Is bus stop the best place?
Yeah, no, not where I would recommend.
I've had that conversation as a driver. Is bus stop the best place for you to really make a pass on me? I know I'm slower than you, but you got a straight coming. Like, give me a second, will you? You know?
Yeah. As a constant and consistent blue flag.
Yeah, exactly.
That's I don't know why there. I don't know why there, but they're doing a good job. Great recovery by the, I believe it was a Ferrari that he bumped into, that rear passenger side. So nice job keeping it on the track.
The Bentley running hard now up into Lecon.
Done the Girthquake in the chat lets us know to always send it through the bus stop.
Never lift. Yeah,
Which is why
that's
he's not participating in season
Yeah.
2. So
exactly.
some rally fans in the chat. When in doubt, flat out.
Willamont moving himself up into third now over Volzer.
Now, I might be a little biased here, but I'd love to see a Box 3 guy on the podium for this race. And I'm
Oh, absolutely.
greedy, but we'll see if that happens. Yeah, the mid pack's kind of fun. Mid pack, all these guys are wicked.
These guys are stuffed
tight.
against each other right now. I mean, if we just pull back, you know, and oh, we've got somebody off track. Gennaro.
Yeah, De Janeiro.
Take a jump back real quick. Uh-oh, there we go. De Janeiro heading off track for the replay here. Sliding it and losing it down through all by himself, though, it looks like.
Gravity Storm.
Yep. And let's jump
Yeah,
back
not
up
sure if
here,
he
though.
just kind of caught some marbling on the track, or just could have just been a straight up error. But
Kadzelia
that
now
sucks.
dropping back as well, now down into 13th. Tighten it back up here as we watch Bryn Evans defend against Dalmolin. Coming down towards the bus stop.
Yeah, he's got Dalmolin and then Yenchu right behind him as well. Yensu.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, these guys are
with them-
just so stocked, and Hall's back there as well. So
Yeah.
look at
Hall
the
just made a
stack on
move,
these
too.
cars.
We have a-
Blaine Hall in the Audi.
Did I see someone go pits? No, not yet.
Nope, but we've got
little
Clueless
early.
Geezer and Thomas both yellow flagged right now, getting passed up hard.
Yeah, Hall made a pretty solid move.
We-
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, we do have Seabook coming out of the pits right now. A. Thomas into the pits. Isar was yellow flagged as well. And jump back up front here, though, as positions are a-changing. Ostovich moving up. But now getting passed by Tobias Gable and Will Green.
And Will Greeny down in 15th, not probably where he wanted to be. He's got some car on track there.
Whoa, we got a huge mix up here. Yellow flag, everybody slow down. We got a lot of yellows and a lot of banging going on
That's gonna be
as we come down into the carousel. That's bad. Everybody needs to back it down.
full course yellow on that one.
Yeah, that really is yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and we're actually trying to get a hold of our pit lane correspondent.
The DT
and,
Bubs.
It's actually Anderson this week.
Oh.
Yeah, trying to see what he has in the pit lane for us. But yeah, that
Bryn
yellow
Evans.
going through the
Yeah,
carousel,
that
sucks.
That was bad. Not sure what happened there or what kicked it off. Unable to capture the replay on that one, but Bryn Evans now holding on to Hendricks, taking that position. He's got damage down the side, so he obviously got tussled up. I think we're going to see some pit stops start to happen.
Yeah, damage to cars. I mean, you see the side, I won't call it a side pod, but it's the side of the McLaren for Bryn Evans is a little mangled. So.
Yep. As we watch Cal make the move on Kadzelia. Coming down into the bus stop.
And good for you. That Audis, we got some Audis on track.
I know.
That you
Look.
can oogle and ogle over.
Blaine Hall sitting in 7th in the Audi right now. I love it. Number of drivers now into the pits. Bryn Evans being one of them. We've got some more yellow flags hanging out there, but Thomas, Nachita, and Wangle Snatcher, along with Sainz Taylor, all into the pits right now. Take a moment and look up front. Lipka continues to lead, opening the gap over King McGee by 7 seconds. Volzer sitting in 3rd, having to fight off Bourdon.
is there a way we can get telemetry of cars?
No.
on this? I didn't think
Well,
so. I know that there's
okay,
that
here's the
one,
thing.
but-
I probably can, but it's going to require third-party software. There's no overlay stuff built into the game that would let me do that. So
I think I've.
the screen's busy enough today. So, but
By the
what?
way,
It's something we could look at. I'm sure.
our pit lane correspondent is available, and I think he's got some news for us.
Anderson, where is he?
Yeah, he's.
Can you drag him down?
No, I don't know.
iRacing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is he in
Silly
iRacing?
goose. I don't know. He's supposed to be in the pit lane.
Mr. Anderson.
Hello, Mr. Molson. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, sir? What's going on?
Well, I don't know where Mr. Blue is getting the information that I'm on the pit wall. I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, I was just curious if you knew anything going on as far as like the tire changes and things like that down there at pit lane.
Well, it's going to be pretty clear that Bryn and everyone else that was in that gaggle of like 12-car pileup are probably going to be coming in after that.
Yeah. What happened? Were you? I mean, you weren't up there. You're not on track right now, so I have to assume.
No.
I'm just wondering what happened. We didn't catch all of it. We just saw a big chunk of the middle in the aftermath with a lot of cars stacked up. But again, with this many cars on track, I mean, look, we're what, 4 laps deep, 5 laps deep at this point, 4 or 3 laps deep, depending on where these guys are.
10 minutes in.
And look at how stacked we are right now. There's no way to tell who's making a pass right now and who isn't. We jump down here, Gennaro getting ahead of Bagus.
And great for him because you know you have that kind of self-inflicted spin, a little bit of a bump there by I think it was Toledo.
Well,
but,
Toledo,
you know,
yeah, Toledo giving Hurt the bump, but at the same time, Hurt taking advantage and saying, you know what, I'm gonna you're gonna bang my door. I'm just gonna cut inside you and take the position too. So
yeah, a little bit advantageous there.
a little
for,
bit.
For Hurt and
Okay.
3 wide.
Whoa, 3
to
wide.
Here we go.
Hemel here.
Tobias Gable
Oh.
leading out right there.
It was almost 4, and that Aston Martin just squeezes the McLaren out of there. I think that's
Yeah, cut the
green.
nose
Is
a
it
little
green?
bit.
Tobias Gable taking that position, moving himself up into P11. Gotta jump up front though, as the Volzer is continuing. Now is taking second, leading King McGee and Bourdon a merry chase downhill.
I have to give credit where credit's due. Lipka is just running away with this thing
Absolutely.
right
Such a fast, and look, I mean, we talked about his qualification lap. He was one of 2 people in the 217s. He's run a race pace lap of a 217.5. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
who Patrick Lipka
Not
is,
slow.
but Patrick Lipka's an alien and gonna run
Not
with it right
slow.
now.
He's got a 10-second advantage, looks like.
Yeah,
Is that what I
10.4 right
saw?
now I'm showing. Yep.
Yeah. If you, if you want to like, get a puncture or something, make this a little bit interesting for us.
No kidding,
That would
right?
be, that'd be really, terrible
Give-
for you, great for us.
now. Give him an extra pit stop requirement. There
Right.
you go.
Yeah, can we,
Slow him down.
add ballasts mid corner? Yeah, and then now the battle becomes between 2, 3, and 4. We don't necessarily have our race winner. Oh,
It's, let's go back there real quick.
yeah, Bentley. Oh, solid move there,
Turning
just
in just a
wide.
little late, trying to hold on
Yeah.
to it. Not quite able to, however.
And you got to be ever so careful of that curve there, because if you hit the rear tire just right.
Well,
it-
and that's the thing
send
with
you to a
Blanchimont,
dizzy.
right? Blanchimont is a corner you can take. And I learned this thanks to Mr. Red Rider, I gotta say. If you turn in at the right point, at least in the Audi, you can stay absolutely flat through Blanchimont. If you miss that turn point, however, you better lift or you're not going to be able to hold on to it because
Yeah, and
Yep.
your runway is going to run out before you can bring it back on track. And you're going to end up in the
yeah, it looks
grass.
like we had a position change. The McLaren's going at it. I think that was
Yes,
for
they are. Bourdon moving up into 3rd over King McGee.
And King McGee, he's just got to really put his head down. And, good job holding off Bourdon for as long as he could. But at this
Tobias
point, it's
Gable.
royal feat, if you will.
Tobias Gable sliding through Lacombe and dropping
All
position
blue.
to Will Green and Willamont.
Great recovery though, and a good job to not barrel into anybody because that could have been a lot
Yes.
worse.
Yeah,
than it was. And
absolutely.
DG's a fantastic driver. Kudos to him. So I think that also applies there as racing skill.
Dump it over here real quick, folks. We take a look. Whoops, wrong screen because I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have put this on my screen. I don't want to be on TV. We are at 126.3% of our goal raised today. I want to thank everybody who's donated, but let's keep going. I didn't change the amount because I want to see if we can double it. I want to see that go to 200% versus raising it and having a lower percentage.
Yeah,
So,
949.
let's jump in there.
Tossed $25 to us.
Yep, they did. Kendra
Revis,
was 50.
Josh Butler.
Josh Butler up in there, DJ, all these guys. Thank you to everyone who donated today. That's what it's all about. That's why we're here. As much as we want to focus on the racing, it's fantastic to watch these guys. Yeah, that guy's an idiot. Don't listen to him.
Don't know how he got put in charge of this whole thing.
No, that'd be Mr. Will Green, sir.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Will Green, as we focus in on him, he now leads Tobias Gable. Given a little bit of a stretch through the bus stop, but Tobias very fast. We're gonna have to see how quickly he can move that McLaren back up on the back end of Will. Check in on Bourdon and King McGee up front.
They're just moving.
Just a whipping.
They're moving. And cars coming out of pit lane, that's going to cause some traffic for them, which could back them up, give us a pretty decent battle here.
We take a look. Kadzilia heading into the pits now as well. Dropping off. A lot of drivers heading into the pits at this point.
And the pit lane here is just, it's kind of a nightmare.
It is the longest in GT3 racing. I believe it's 97 seconds just to drive through it. Like to do a full 30-second stop and get through is 97 seconds. That's well over half a lap here, right?
Just about, yeah.
Bannock trying to fend off D Soul.
David Soul.
Not doing a terrible job too. Just trying to make that Lamborghini as wide as possible, and see if Soul maybe takes advantage through a Rouge and Radial. Nope. Not
Howdy Productions, where is the car? 549. Let's go take a look for him real quick. Joe Scher in the Audi. He's going to be one of my favorites. Look at that awesome yellow and blue livery. He's in an Audi. He has to be one of my favorites, right?
Gotta be.
Banach now holding him off, but Soul with the inside track through the first corner. Going a little wide in the second, but right there.
Car.
And there's that 549 as Soul nudges his way forward as he's got the inside line going down into carousel. Damage on the side of the car. Doesn't seem to be slowing him down, though. The 549 Audi.
Someone was off track there.
Joe Scher with that 549 looking to try and squeeze in, but not quite making it. Bagus off track and a lot of damage on the side of that vehicle, waiting for his opportunity to re-enter. Getting out of the way. Go back up now. David Soul now leading out, but Scher and...
That
There we
Bannock?
go. Bannock. Yeah, Scher and Bannock. And Scher able to get around as well. Tried to squeeze himself through in the carousel. Didn't quite work out, but now able to move up and take that position from Bannock.
So, Krieger07 in the chat said, did a 360 on lap 1 and did another one on the back straight.
Well, Krieger, I got to tell you, in GT3 racing, there's no points for style. I'll bet you it looked fantastic if we'd have caught it. There are no points for style. Gennaro now currently sitting in P20, leading a group of cars, including DeLuca, Genio, Pocabas.
And solid job by him after the semi-self-inflicted spin that he had. So, I mean, just kind of put his head down and kept racing. So, kudos to him for being in 20th. He could be a lot further down. So,
that's the beauty of endurance racing. Even if you do get in a mess up, there's still over 2 hours to go. There's plenty of time for other people to bin it just as well. So just keep your head down, like Blue was saying, and you could make up positions in no time.
And I think
Soul going way wide now, letting James Bising and Joe Scher right on through.
Yeah, Bising gonna just try to fatten that NSX up. That's really what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to park that car in the middle, and he pretty much defended both Cher and Soul.
He did. Got through, coming up the Kemmel straight. The man, the myth, the legend, the nugget, James Bising. He's one of my favorites.
I'm totally
He's,
not
he's a
biased
character.
because he's
Not
my
biased.
teammate this year. So
Oh, there you go. He's something, all right. Let's go take a look at Gianluca De Luca. EOS Esport Endurance leading a tight pack right now. And we got a push right behind him. Oh,
looks like
let's
his
go back
teammate.
and take a look. Look, his teammate got nudged coming down the hill.
That white McLaren. Oh, there
And
it is.
right there it is.
Bonk. Great recovery, though, to not go into the wall.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
was pretty solid.
Able to pull back,
Didn't-
get off track as well, not to cause any further incidents. Orazio, Carlo. Getting around Thompson. Thompson now tucking it under the wing.
Wow. That, I definitely thought that Aston Martin, that Thompson Aston Martin was going to take that BMW of Durazio.
Well, Thompson
For
has
sure.
bigger problems with Lucasen right now.
Yeah. And a rare M6 out on the field.
Tom Foose, is that you?
Oh, yeah, I
it's
thought
not.
Foose was the only one that drove that one anymore.
No, I did too. Marco S has got a $25 donation. Thank you. Just saw that pop up on the screen.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Continuing to pump those numbers. Oliver Thompson
Those are
now
rookie
losing
numbers.
position to Lucasen.
Blue beat me to it.
Gotta pump those numbers up.
Rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers. Gotta pump those numbers up.
David Soul continues
Soul.
to do well. Currently now up into 30 with James Bising, Banach, Cher, and Heim all right there behind him.
Now, to be totally honest, with how Bising has competed in previous seasons, he's not going to just give that up. He's not going to let Soul get away that easy. I think, in all honesty, Bising's going to try to get some sort of tow or some sort of aero advantage off Soul, try to stay within that second mark. And
100%.
Maybe try it for another overtake. He's been pretty aggressive, especially towards David Soul in previous races.
Well, and this is where we see, I mean, these guys run together a lot in our league, right? So, and now we see him tightening up right under the wing. He's going to make that swing to the outside, coming off the straight into Lacombe. Bising nudges ahead. He's got outside
he got a
and
little
just too
little too
wide.
deep.
Too
Little
greedy.
too deep right there. We got Audi versus Audi now going to show up, though. But David Soul's going to hold on with Cher able to gain position as well over James.
And yeah, just
Lynn,
greedy
welcome into the
move.
chat. Thank you so much for being here.
And it cost James a position.
It did,
so.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, he just a little too deep, and that's again talks about it before the race. Coming off that Kemmel straight, you're looking to push as hard as you can and as deep as you can into that corner to minimize your time loss. And there we see one of those situations where it just was a little too much, and he couldn't keep it on, keep it in the lines where he needed to.
Yeah, hard and fast. That's how Molson always likes it. So it's
Alexander Heim now getting ahead of James Bising and Banach.
This is the
Bannock.
last time he's ever going to have me in here.
That's
for sure.
probably the final
You are
time.
officially
yeah.
off the list of commentators.
Yeah.
Dunn is probably like, oh my god, I can't believe he said that.
Mr.
Oh my
Anderson
God.
is behaving himself, but Blue just can't.
I can't help myself.
Cher in the
That's-
Audi now jumping up on David Soul.
these guys.
We're going side
Too
by side
wide.
again. Through Blanchimont and Soul able to pull it out though. And that's again, just fantastic to watch because it's one of those corners where if you're not on your line, it's probably going to force you to slow down, right? And these guys were able to take it side by side, obviously practicing not just being the fastest, but being a better driver overall and knowing what you have to do when you're in traffic versus by yourself and hot lapping, right?
Absolutely. You have a little bit of leverage on that inside line. The outside line, although it is doable to make it stick, that inside line is definitely the preferred line. I know there are some crazy esports drivers that can make it work, and I know Max Verstappen is famous for doing it on sim racing, but it is very tough to make that one stick on the outside line.
Blue just asked for a link, dude.
Well, I wouldn't have done it. Sorry. I got it done. I did.
Just failing over and over and over again. Although I'm a little concerned why the exclamation box 3 didn't work. It should have.
Yeah.
That one actually should have, yeah.
Well, BMX Star 85, he's been in my streams before, and I haven't streamed him forever, but he's
Take a
been
look
in
at
my streams before, so glad to have him here.
Lucasen gonna make a move on Dorazio.
Good old M4 battle.
Right up the
Everybody
inside,
loves
able
the
to take it
M4.
nice and clean. Excellent pass. Toledo now might find himself in some trouble. He's got a little bit of a lead.
English is a tough
dropping
language.
back. It's not English though. That's the problem. These guys are from all over the world. Germany. I mean, look, and this is, I think, why today's race does mean a lot to me sitting up here. And I don't know how much it means to the drivers. I know it obviously means a lot to Will, but it means a lot to me because from previous to Box 3, going back a ways, I've gotten to know and meet some wonderful, as an American, you don't, the country's so big and we don't travel outside of it very often. So it's very difficult. It's hard to meet people from other countries, right? Especially if you're someone like me, I don't travel for work and I don't, you know, and that was bad.
Yeah, it's Coco Bass's second incident because he had the bump with the I believe it's EOS BMWs, I think. So
Yep. Looks like he
this
brought
might-
it in. He brought it in himself. Well, that's a hard read right there, right? I mean, it looked to me like he turned in a little bit, so he now heads into the pits.
I agree with that. It did
But
look like
again,
he kind of
even
cut
worse.
off the inside line there.
Yeah. As we watch Yinshu and Will Green now going to look to make a move. But as I was saying, I've had opportunity from doing this to be able to talk to so many people, and it sucks because I can't pronounce their names because we don't use real names on the Discord. We don't, you know what I mean? And once you get to know someone, you talk to them, use their real name. You talk, you know, I don't know Blue. I don't even know your real name.
And let's keep it that
That's
way.
perfectly fine if that's how. I mean, I get it. We're online, but it still is one of those things where I feel bad. I can't pronounce some of these names because of a lack of. No, sir, it's not that. Je ne sais quoi? Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
No, if they were all French, I'd probably be doing fine. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Does this
BMX
mean-
stars?
Does this mean I'm one of the
New
few
York.
people that know your name, Blue?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
I don't want to know his name. It's probably something weird.
Yeah, it's probably an item off the McDonald's menu that you don't want to know. Damn
Yeah.
it. But yeah, and BMX is chiming in from New York, so another New York pal for you.
Whereabouts in New York there, BMX? Just out of curiosity. Lipka now heads into the pits for their first stop. So we'll see. Was sitting in first. We'll see where they end up as they come back out. We'll. I'm assuming a driver swap at this point, possibly. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off. So that puts Volzer up into first.
And we just got to the 2-hour mark of this race. So Brooklyn. So that is where BMX Star 85 is from.
Oh, Brooklyn, New. Okay, so right in NYC. Gotcha. I'm in New York as well, but I'm not in the city. So. Calb sitting sideways at the top of Eau Rouge. This isn't good. Came out, hit the curb,
Yeah, the curbing
bounced
set
the
him off.
wall, and sat right in the middle of the track.
Wow.
Listen, doing a great job though, holding the brakes, looking to stay out of the way, let drivers get around. I mean, it's a hard position to be in, right? Your car got tossed. You're looking to do the best you can to stay out of people's way, and unfortunately, if he wouldn't have held the brakes, he would have hit. You know, he would have rear-ended right into a guy, into another driver. So he did the right thing, but now sitting in the middle of the road sideways is not a great place to be, right? Like,
And also got to be a little terrifying for all parties involved because you have him who doesn't want to cause a giant incident again, and not saying that he caused an incident previously, but you don't want another big incident again. And
Yeah, in general.
the other guy's like, oh, I don't know what he's gonna do. So, yeah, good job and by everybody that was involved there. I love the splitting of the two cars.
Right.
That was pretty cool. But yeah, good job by everybody involved there. And sucks to see him go into the wall. That was the rough part. And Lukeson pushing, pressuring.
Just trying to
that,
keep-
I think that's Hendricks.
trying to keep
35th.
Calb, Lucasen looking to keep Calb and Dorazio. at bay while also worrying about that blue flag. Able to get clear.
Yeah, Hendricks did a good job of being a proper blue flag there.
Absolutely, that was nice and seamless.
Yeah.
Yep. So many times I see blue flags, they just want to run off track. As we watch Calb now back on track, but Durazio gonna take a move around the outside through
It's gonna be a
Blanchimont.
little tough for Calb to defend the move because he's got damage from just bumping into the wall as he goes way wide.
Well, and it's not always just the damage too, right? It's also this feeling of I just screwed up. Your heart's racing. You're trying to calm back down. Do you really have the energy to defend at the same time?
He goes
right?
back in.
Yep, and there he heads into the pits. But we're gonna jump up here. Yunsu defending against Will Green.
But BMX Star, I see the question in the chat. The first race of season 2 is next week, next Sunday.
Next Sunday, yep. Kicking it off. We can do a little bumper there if you'd like. Take a quick look. Exclamation point charity, Lynn. That'll get you the link. Right there, season 2 kicks off next week at Suzuka, March 6th endurance race, 90 minutes, 8 p.m. UTC, 3 p.m. Eastern. We will be here.
That is a prize done.
That is a big prize, thanks to Next Level Racing. Let's remember why we're here today. Racing for Ukraine, justgiving.com/fundraising/box3 fundraiser. We have at this point hit 130% of our goal, $654. Let's bump that to 1,000, folks. Come on, let's do it. That's why we're here today. We're getting to see some great racing, a lot of fun. The drivers, I'm sure, even with the incidents, I'm sure the drivers are having an absolute blast out on track. 65 drivers today. We're down to 56 now, actually. So obviously lost a few. But that is why we're here today. So please, by all means, share that link. If folks aren't here watching, go share it with them. Raise as much money as we can to help the folks in the Ukraine deal with everything that's going on over there. Again, there's some out there that can do so much more. They're on the ground, or they're direct support doctor. I'm not a doctor. I can't go heal people. I can't. But you know what? I can sit here and I can do this, and I can ask all you fine folks watching today, all 61 people sitting in the chat, $1. $1 to help the people of Ukraine. That's what my abilities allow me to do. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the support everyone has given across the board. You guys are fantastic. Thank you to all the drivers for joining. Thank you to Will Green for setting this up. Everyone having a great Sunday here, trying to do our best to do our part to help the folks in Ukraine.
Couldn't have said it any better, Molson.
Do my best.
It's a good way for us to do this, and like I said earlier, I appreciate the performance by Will and the drive to get this done as we get another $10 donation in. It feels good, you know, racing for a good cause. We get to do something that we love.
100%.
And feel good doing it. So.
All right, Ottens.
Oh, we got another car off track.
See that.
That looked like Bising, maybe?
Keeping an eye on Paige. Adrian now sneaking by Paige, heading up the Kemmel Straight. Going to be able to maintain.
Black NSX.
Ah, yes, you're right.
It was. Looks like it was. Cenas? Taylor. S. Taylor. I believe.
10 euros from Love. Thank you, Stawia? Stawia? Is that how I say that? Thank you so much.
That's what I would go with.
Stawia, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Oh, now I want to switch screens real quick and show everybody where we're at. Blue, I need you to behave yourself. Okay?
By all means.
$690.26. We're at 69% of our goal. The goal has been updated, ladies and gentlemen, to $1,000. Can we raise $1,000 for Ukraine today? I know I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew that was the word going to be out of your mouth. You're driving me nuts. I love you, but you're driving me crazy. No.
I've
Oh,
made
now
a, I
the
haven't made
chat's
a,
going with it.
I haven't made a
Nice.
butts. I
Nice.
made a butts
Nice.
joke.
I know. It's fine. We're good. It's all good here. We're here. We're here to have fun and raise money. We're having a great day today. Bannock into the pits. Hurt. Buntick's into the pits as well. Got a lot of drivers dropping in now. Lucasen able to get ahead of Ludwig's again. As we take a look up front, though. Ginsu under constant pressure, currently sitting in 8th, but Will Green has not alleviated any of the pressure as we head up through Eau Rouge and Radion again. Will kind of taking his time, right? He knows he's got hour and 50 minutes left. He doesn't need to rush. Did a really good job today. But again, folks,
I think he's actually, is he doing solo? Or is he he's got his dad with him, actually.
I'm hoping his dad's going to run. I love Will
so I
Green
think he's
Sr.
I think he's trying to set up, he's trying to set up his dad to be in a really good position
Okay.
to run. I think that's the idea here for him.
Gotcha. That'd be perfect. But again, he's taking his time, right? He knows he doesn't have to try and over push to try and get ahead of Ginsu. I apologize to everybody. I'm gonna keep apologizing. I don't know. Don't laugh at me, Blue. I can hear you chuckling in the background.
I'm having flashbacks to Nürburgring and some things that were said at Nürburgring which were hilarious. But no, you're doing a fantastic job. We gotta get like little driver sheets.
We do. Phonetic spellings.
Yep.
Lewis able to quickly get ahead of Bannock. I'm back Kesar right now. Oh, and we've got somebody else sitting in pit lane. Oh my goodness. Filipiak now getting around Kesar and Hughes. Kesar gonna have to play defense on Hughes right now, coming into carousel.
Just gonna kind of have to stick to that line and make sure that he doesn't. They're gonna have to really avoid contact.
Yep, and
if
it's
you get bumped through here. It's gonna suck.
Yeah, especially in that Porsche. That thing is not fun to control. But Hughes gonna look to sneak on the outside, tuck it back in.
They're in the. I wonder if Kesar's in the older Porsche. He normally runs the newer, the GT3R2, or whatever it's called. So I'm not sure if that's the older version that he's not super familiar with. I can't tell. So
I do feel like the older one would be better here, just because of the amount of straights and everything that's on this track.
it'd be faster.
But I can't tell either, honestly.
I'm trying to see, but the livery is coming up. If anybody can tell me, if anyone can tell us in chat, that would be PogChamp of you.
All the Porsche drivers out there.
So
Feel free.
Kesar trying to stretch it out at this point.
And he's given himself a pretty good lead away from, I believe that's Lipka right behind him, isn't it? No, it's Hughes. Sorry.
Oh, and we got a push.
Oh.
That was a bad one. Right in the front of the bus stop. This is going to be hard as other drivers come through. Bad push from Hughes on Kesar.
And you got to kind of expect Hughes to maybe give that back.
I would hope
Hughes
so.
doesn't really know the McLaren, as Braze the Island lets us know.
It's just Braze the land, not island.
Well, hey. Yeah, see? Look at
You
me.
know. Don't huff at me. I'm just letting you know. I pronounce things wrong all day. I'm going to correct some folks when I need to. But now we're going to watch Page. Liam Page fighting off Neil Hurt down the hill. Bryn Evans right there behind him.
Clueless Geezer with a little 10 spot for us. Thank you, Clueless.
Krieger dropping that
have a heart
into
somewhere?
clips and highlights. Thank you so much for dropping that in there. Sharing your pain with everyone.
Ooh,
Wilk now under pressure. We got a 4-car run with Wilk, Page, Hurt, and Evans. Stacking up downhill. Wilk gonna go wide and open the door. 2x2 and 2x2. This is gonna get sketch coming into Blanchimont.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
I don't like this.
Oh, that Hurt BMW is just literally I think that's Hurt behind.
Bryn Evans able to blow through all 3 of these guys and just light it up and quickly cuts into the bus stop to avoid the incident. Would have been rear-ended pretty violently had he not swung it in quickly. Wow. Excellent hard racing right there. Bryn Evans coming out ahead in that number 19 McLaren.
Good on all of them for not making any contact during that. I was feeling the jitters watching that.
Yeah, I got nervous just watching it. Never mind being in that situation.
And Hurt taking advantage of the battle that was in front of him, and the Page BMW giving him an opening, and he ended up taking it. A little bit of a dive, not a dive bomb per se, but there was an opening there. He took it and ends up bumping up into 23rd. So
excellent.
And Bryn's fast AF, as the kids would say. So
look at you trying
I'm
to be
biased. I'm biased. He's my teammate for season 2, so I gotta cheer him on a little bit. Gotta get him pumped up.
Tobias Gable now looking to catch up on Wilhelm Wirk. Wilhelm.
I think Wirk. Yeah, Wirk.
Yeah, I'll just go with Wilhelm. That's
Willie?
why I say Tobias half the time, because Gable is a little difficult, even the way the A has to roll. And we got a bump and a nudge.
Contact.
Oh! Contact on both. Tobias able to sneak through a little easier. Blue flag driver.
There goes James.
Little Jimmy. Repping the Southwest United States. As he just flew through that. He got the long straw to that deal, and he was able to sneak past all of them. And the Aston Martin, doesn't seem to be any worse for wear. After he made it, I'm interested to see where that Audi turned out.
Well, so many back markers at this point with pit stops. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 drivers in the pits at this point. 9. We got a good number of drivers in the pit. Will Green now up into 4th.
We got the top 2 are in the pit right now.
Yep.
So this should shake up
Volzer
the order a
and
little bit.
Bourdon dropping in.
Genshu in 3rd now, I would presume.
Oh, and Will Green yellow flagged as he comes into the pits. Okay, just making sure, checking on Will, but Will Green now into the pits as well.
And we'll see if they decide to go with Papa Greeny, or Papa Verde, as I like to call him.
We will.
See
Mr.
if
Will
that
Green
happens.
Sr.
So with Lipka being in 5th, we'll see if this punts him back up to the top,
He's got
where
the
he was
base for it.
previously.
Clueless Geezer, thank you so much for your £10 donation, sir. You are an officer and a gentleman.
Yeah, it turns out he does have a heart. Who knew? I thought he was
I
just
didn't.
a cold tin man. A sad little robot traveling through space. That's what I thought Clueless was.
Or
this whole time.
Clueless. Or Clueless. Thompson and Dorazio now. Another battle coming out of Lacombe. Down into Carousel.
And Thompson's had some underrated defense bar from what we've seen. So kudos to him. And then Durazio, I feel like these guys have been kind of glued to each other for a majority of the race.
BMX asking, what am I looking for when I go sign up? BMX, what you want to do is make sure you go to role selection. Make sure you grab up PC ACC so you'll get all the announcements. And that's where everything will be. Tobias Gable now applying pressure.
We have a Wild Huffman joining the chat right now.
I saw that. Yeah, I was waiting. Right now I'm watching Tobias apply pressure through the bus stop though. Oh, and Luizetto goes wide, giving Tobias the opportunity to stretch out now. No, nothing but clean air in front of him. 18 seconds back off more. Will Green continues to sit in the pits, now dropped to 9th. You there, Huff?
Yeah.
What's going on, my man?
I'm just,
How we
it's
doing
going well,
today?
man.
Our pit lane correspondent?
No, nobody's
I am.
in
I'm
pit lane.
reporting from the
Oh,
pit
he is in
right
pit
now.
lane.
How you
Will-
guys doing, man?
Oh, Will Green's
lovely.
struggling to get
Beautiful.
out of the pits. Somebody lost it coming up the hill as we watch Will Green come out of the pits. He's got cars sitting in front of him. A Bentley parked in the middle of the pit exit.
Weird.
Seems like an odd place to park your car, but it is now Tony Green taking over.
Let's go, Papa Verde.
Coming out in 12th.
Papa Green.
Lucasen right there to greet him as he comes out of the pits, though, and going to take the inside of the carousel. Oh, Tony Green going to drop into 13th. Great to see the father-son team of the Greens out on track today.
That's so much fun that they do this
I love
together.
that.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I wish I could get my
Yeah.
kids to race.
Dunn was saying that Bentley was just using all of the track.
Oh, what's going on here?
Genshu?
Genshu and more, it looks like.
Ooh.
Oof.
I
Bad
think
wall
that-
bang.
Was that self?
That one was hard to tell. We'll have to see afterwards. That was a real hard one to tell, but we're going side by side again. Stacked up with back markers. Entrinault and Adrian Bourdon.
Ooh. Almost clipped that inside wall on that turn.
Yeah, that was a ballsy move there.
Fun through La Source every time. How close can you get to La Source to that wall without actually tapping it?
These guys. Oh, someone
I've lost
wanted
that
to-
bet a few times.
Yep.
Yeah,
Same here.
I've spun a couple cars there. There was quite a battle between that McLaren. I think that's Bourdon and Bannock, the blue flag, and
We're going
Oh.
deep through Lacombe.
yeah, Bourdon just kind of misses his braking marker there.
Thomas Ehrentraut holding on to third right now. But Bourdon applying pressure consistently.
Bourdon's got some pace, man. He is quick. He must really like Spa. He's probably a big Spa guy.
Certainly doing a great job today.
I'm just loving how we're almost an hour in, and 2, 3, and 4 are still all within 2 seconds of each other this whole time.
Yeah, there's a good couple pack battles in here actually, it makes it a little bit more fun, rather than having a bunch spaced out. It also makes it more fun for guys racing too. That way you get, constant interaction with people. So, yeah, Bourdon representing Canada for this race. So Molson was talking about people all over the world.
Oh, we don't have Zap Brandigan here today, so
Yeah.
Let's say that. Where's Mr. Zap Brandigan?
Lucasen off track. Bourdon tightening it up, though, continuing to close in. These guys are going to battle right through Blanchimont, heading up into the bus stop. McLaren versus McLaren. Let's hope everyone finds their break points this time.
I want to say Bourdon is on fresher tires.
And Bourdon able to make the move on the inside through the bus stop, holding inside both corners.
Yeah, Thomas went for the switchback, hoping that Bourdon would have ran a little bit wide there.
And he's
Gonna
go
take
wide
inside.
through, La Source here too.
Going to take
This
the inside
is-
on La Source. Let's watch them up through
Oh.
Eau Rouge.
Backed out just a little bit, but they're so close. They're so close. Boy, there's so many Evos in this race. With the low lap times. That's funny. It's a good modifier there.
Let's take a jump back, though, as Weirwick gets around Tobias through the bus stop. Bus stop, a favorite pass point today. Tobias Gable again under that pressure. Rich getting the inside. We've seen that move more than once. But Ehrentraut not giving up. Bourdon continuing to hold him back and play defense now.
You got to think, being the same machine, they're hence why this battle is probably pretty equal, I would say. But I think Bourdon is going to get a little bit of an edge. I think he's just got a little bit more skill behind him. No offense to the German driver that we were watching, Thomas.
Tobias now, we're going to 3-car battle through Lacombe coming down into Carousel. Weirwick leads the way of Tobias, and you're going to have to say it. I can't say, you have to say it.
Yenshu?
There you go. Thank you.
I think
I know you could be wrong, but I can't even get that part out.
Insulting his entire ancestry
I-
right there.
It's entirely possible. And again, apologies to all those we do.
Yeah, Wyrick is just gonna have to pretty much defend, keep these guys at bay.
Well,
Gable,
especially-
we know what he can do.
Yeah,
right?
Gable. I
So,
mean, Gable's a box 3 driver. We know what kind of pace he's had recently. I mean, we watch
as we talk about,
as
it.
we
As he
watch.
makes the move right now.
Yeah, he
But-
got that sweet toe off that Aston, and he's gonna really try to take it.
I love talking about Tobias because Tobias is like a guy we watched, used to be an Xbox driver, came over to PC, and as an Xbox driver was always fair to middling, right? Mid-pack, somewhere in there. As a PC driver has really taken off and done a great job to improve his skills and get faster and faster and better as he goes. And now we're seeing that pay off as he currently sits in E9.
Puts me to shame in my own car, mind you.
Yeah, the Lexus, his original ride,
Mm-hmm.
man, and Toyota Motorsports just couldn't hold on to him. Didn't have the term for him for season 2, and he ends up switching to some British manufacturing. So
He
we'll see.
joins Lando Norris.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. They hopped in the simulator not too long ago. Actually, they were palling around.
We
they're
tried
the,
hard to keep him on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to convince him.
Blue saying that sweet toe will haunt my nightmares.
Lucasen and Luciviero now.
I had another term in there for you, Dunn, but I'll save it for like the last lap of the race.
I was about to say it could have been worse. Could have been worse done.
Could have been way worse.
Page and Gennaro fighting as well. We can see a BMW and a McLaren go at it a little bit. And we got to slide through the bus
shit.
stop. A little hard to avoid that one when he kicks the back
that
end
one was
out
tough.
like that, allowing Gennaro to pull up and get ahead. Again, going just
Big
a
time
little
push,
too deep into that chicane.
Oh,
You're
coming
never
right
gonna-
back now.
You're never going to succeed going too deep into the bus stop.
Oh,
Gennaro taking it back
Oh.
from Page though through La Source.
Gennaro with a little bit of that was a little sassy cutoff there. For
I agree with
Page
that.
W. But again, kudos to a guy we focused on early in the race that kind of spun himself out. He's maintained 20th, even after a pit stop. So I mean, good job to him bumping up into 19th.
We've got someone sideways off the track at Lacombe. Latus going to sit by and wait. Get moving again. Ejik Uben up in 5th and 6th now, competing.
Thank God Molson took the lead on those. I absolutely messed those up. BMX, the qualify is done. You can do hot stints that are probably in PCACC announcements, I believe. Find hot stints, and then season 2 starts on the 6th.
Oh, and Tony Green spun now.
Oh no.
I can jump back and see what might have happened down here. This is the corner where it's going to happen. This is the one right here.
Yeah.
Hard
Back
spin.
end. Oh.
Oh no.
Unable to
That
keep it
Aston.
under control. That's too
Innocent
bad.
bystander there.
Dijik and Huben now up the hill one more time onto the Kemmel Straight. Did I just see somebody pull a drive-through?
Oh man, that would suck.
I just saw somebody pull a drive-through, but then it disappeared.
Oh, and Hoban tried to take that move. He was.
Hey, took a
maybe it was
peek. I saw
fake to
that
the
for a
inside.
second.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit of strategery there, but Halbin, I believe Halbin, going wide.
Oh, picking the outside line.
Let's see if he maybe.
Gonna tuck that
I thought
back
he was gonna
in.
try to. I thought he was gonna try to fake move, but
That's a page out of my playbook.
yeah.
Huben in the Audi. Know who I'm rooting for on this one.
And just Adrian giving him no chance, just parking that Ferrari right in the middle, and no real easy way for Halbin to overtake him. So kudos to Full Boost Racing here. Alterud in the chat saying Halbin's his teammate. So
Quick update, folks. We are at $729 of our goal. 72%.
let's go.
Remember while we're here, exclamation charity in the chat. We'll get you the link to donate to the British Red Cross. English Red Cross. I don't know which one. One of those. British Red Cross. I don't know what they like to be called. I don't want to offend Will.
Uh-oh. Tony Green off again through the end part of the Kemmel.
I see that, Tony. So Tony's struggling right now.
After that hit, the suspension's probably taken a little bit of damage, which is just going to do nothing but make him spin even more, sadly.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw him come into pit yet either.
We have Huff as our pit crew correspondent. Feel free to let us know what's going on down there.
Yeah, I don't believe I've seen Tony come into the pits yet. It looked like his tires are pretty worn too after that little spin out. He's probably felt a little bit of flat spots in the tires through that beautiful CSL DD he's got.
He had another one. I think that there is he's getting some word from Will that yeah, he's gone wide again. That same spot that we saw him earlier. So, oof.
Thank you, Movana, for throwing that in there, and welcome in. I see you're a first-time chatter. Thank you so much for being here. You watch more now.
Try to get that car back to the pit.
DJ under pressure again from Hubin.
Oh.
Hubin going to the
Oh, look at
inside.
this move.
Gonna take it
I
around
love
the
it.
inside of the carousel. That's how you make a pass.
And took him what, a lap and a half.
Let's go jump up real quick though, because Weirick around more. Tobias Gable's right there looking to capitalize on this move.
Yeah, any mistake that that Moore or Wyrick make, and it's all TG at that point. But TG has to make sure that he doesn't cause the mistake and accidentally rear end Moore. So
TG, a very safe and very consistent driver, has done very well for himself. You know, I used to feel bad for TG. The guy used to get caught up in incidents that were not of his making a lot because of his driving style and
Move down
looking
the
to tuck it
inside.
in close, and he's able to take it
There he
right
goes.
there around Damian Moore.
pretty commanding too. Pretty commanding pass.
He just challenged him on braking, and he got it done. Said, I'm going to brake later than you, and I'm going to make this stick.
Yeah, I think a lot of that to do the McLaren. You know, that's a really good corner, strong corner for the McLaren with it being a really heavy aero car. He was able to make that stick in the inside pretty well.
Something us Lexus boys can't do.
No, that corner kills me every time, man. It just feels like I'm fighting a Japanese vessel going around that corner.
Oliver Thompson now leading it. Hurt and Adrian chase down the hill. Ehrentraut, yellow flag, dropping 2 positions. Hubin and Dietrich now up into 4th and 5th, respectively. Thompson and Hurt going to go side by side.
And these guys could have sworn these guys battled previously too, right at this same spot.
Oh, and a little bit of
Oh,
door
little
banging.
door contact.
A little bit of bumping. It's all right. Just reminding the other guy that they're there, right? Nice job through the
This is great.
in there. Ooh, a little bit of a
We're going to
slip
go
advance slip
3.
angle.
Are we going
That
3
has-
wide into
We're
Lissource?
going to 3.
Are we going 3 wide into Lissource? Hurt able to pull it out and get a little bit ahead, while Thompson and Adrian.
Oh, he's diving the inside.
Oh,
Yeah, he is.
great
And if you
job
can get clear.
by
Oh,
Thompson
3 wide
there.
into Eau Rouge. This is going to make me
Oh.
nervous.
Oh man, and De Gennaro in 16th, right behind him in that McLaren. So we'll see who breaks and who coasts here. Who gives it the beans?
Who's got the? Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. Who's got
Yeah.
the bigger stat on him?
Hurt able to pull it out. But
Very clean
Adrian
through there.
and Thompson going to battle it down the Kemmel straight now.
I like the move that Adrian did there. It did a little late break right before the entry of Eau Rouge and let the Asta go a little wide and then took a better exit. Now he's back in front of
Yeah.
him.
Taking advantage of a couple of mistakes. So, and I mean Thompson battled pretty hard right there. And having 2 guys take you on, that's pretty tough. So, kudos to him for only losing the one position, 2 positions. Could have been much worse too, going through there. So, and Adrian representing Norway, I think is what I saw. It's pretty cool.
I believe that was De Janeiro going way wide on the track there, but kept it together.
Battle now between Adrian and Thompson.
Yeah, and that's where De Janeiro spun out early
Oh.
too. So
Adrian dipping tires into the grass.
pass on the grass, baby. Dale Earnhardt channeling his inner number 3. Let's go. Wow, these
Thompson
guys
able to nudge
are
ahead.
rubbing together. That's awesome.
A fight all the way again down into the bus stop. We've seen these guys battle here before. Their battle giving De Janeiro time to catch up as well. It's going to be another 3-car battle just like we saw last lap.
Oh, looks like Adrian wants that inside move. Oh, De Janeiro now making the move to try and fight for this Eau Rouge spot. Oh, backs out.
Adrian holding the lead right now, but Thompson and De Janeiro right there with him. Who's gonna carry the speed out of Radion up through the straight?
I'm gonna guess Thompson has a shot here, but we'll see.
Ooh.
He has De Janeiro fighting right behind him.
De Janeiro running deep now. Having to back it off a little bit. Adrian able to hold on to that lead through Lacombe.
My neighbor just dropped off cookies for me. Such a sweet lady.
I want cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah, no, not a chance.
Yeah, but I don't also have to pay $15 for a grilled cheese sandwich, so I'm not overly concerned.
Oh, true.
Got gift cards, so it's FREE, baby. Never mind, I gotta go to Melt. Anyway, back to racing. Stop talking about food.
Actually,
Adrian
let's take
Thompson's
another
still
quick
duking
look
it
here.
out.
We're going to jump up and just see where we stand, ladies and gentlemen. $728.67, 72.9% of our goal. As we said, as much as we love this race, and we're seeing some great battles today. In fact, I'm going to jump it over because Paige and Dorazio are going at it right now as well. We are here to raise money for the British Red Cross to help out in the Ukraine. So this is my plea. Y'all can see me hanging out. I'm going to put that back on my ear because it's driving me nuts. $728.67 of our $1,000 goal today. Absolutely fantastic. Thrown together by Mr. Will Green in literally 2 days. Put this race together. 65 teams registered. We still have over 50 drivers on track right now. An hour and 23 minutes left to go. I really think we can, as a community, come together as watchers of this great content. I think we can come together and we can hit that $1,000 goal. So I ask y'all to stay with us. Give what you can. $1, $2, doesn't matter. $100. None of that matters. The amount doesn't matter. What matters is you're here to support Ukraine and the British Red Cross mission to help out as much as possible. So I want to thank the drivers. I want to thank Will. I want to thank Huff. I want to thank the other admins. I want to thank everybody watching today. You guys are all fantastic. Let's get back to racing.
So, Paige and Dorazio made contact at the.
I saw a little nudge in there, yeah.
Yeah, and I
nudge.
believe I'm not sure if they gave the positions back. And
So Adrian, though, Adrian able to pull away 2 seconds now over Thompson, but De Janeiro and Adrian, De Janeiro and Thompson now
yep.
going to take this battle up the straight one more time. We get to watch these guys fight it out.
That inside line is so powerful through there. So I figured that Thompson was going to probably pull out there, but I think one lap left and one more lap, and De Janeiro is ahead of that Aston Martin for sure. Yeah, how many of these people are doing the man, the myth, the legend? I was wondering how many people are doing this solo, but
yeah, I was wondering that as well.
Will Greeny,
I didn't catch it.
Popped into the chat. Thank you, Will. We were just actually gassing you up a little bit. Thank you for putting this on, for getting all this ready. in an insane amount of time and doing an incredible job of coordinating it, getting it out there, getting the word spread, and then doing a good job of racing yourself. That was fun to watch.
Real quick,
Thank
just
you.
interrupt. Our race leader, Lipka, now into the pits for a second time, dropping him back into 5th. But Will, yes, what he said times 1,000, man. You threw this whole thing together so fast. Thanks for joining us here while your dad is out on track driving right now.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, it's a pleasure because it's obviously a very worthy cause. So, yeah, it's the least I could do, really, or the least we could do, because it's obviously not just me. You guys have put in a lot of effort as well. So, I mean, you're sat here commentating as well, Morrison. You're not even driving around. So, yeah.
No, I told you, my job in this league is to sit in judgment above the rest of you. As we watch Thompson now pulling a drive-through penalty. And and he's battling De Janeiro still, so this is going to break up this battle, because if there's one circuit in all of GT3 racing where you do not want to get a drive-through, it's Spa.
Yeah.
It is the longest
90
pit lane.
seconds
It's just an insane amount of time to be lost there. So unfortunate to see that, but obviously cutting corners ain't going to get you there either. So we take a look back. Addison and Jinsu gonna take a little bit of a battle. But Will, how was your race, man? How was the first stint? Seemed like you were doing pretty well for yourself.
Yeah, first stint was okay. I think just staying out of trouble on the first lap, maybe lose a few positions, but I'd rather that than be sat in the garage with some repair time. And then, yeah, just slowly battling through a few people, few bits of carnage for the guys ahead. And, yeah, then hand it over to Papa Greeny.
Oh, Papa Greeny. Does he know that folks call him Papa Greeny? Is that acceptable to him? I want to make sure I don't offend the man. I got mad respect for the Will and Tony Green team. So.
I don't think you could offend him, so that's all right. He heard it on the stream, so he said, "Oh, they've just called me Papa Greeny."
Perfect.
And how is speaking of?
And Lipka going around the outside. Sorry, around the inside of Thompson. A little bit of a bump on his way through. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
How is I popped in a little bit to your stream and was watching Papa Verde take the reins of the car. How is he done so far for you?
Yeah, I mean he's had a couple of little mishaps, so we have had to pit again for some damage repairs. I think he drove with the steering wheel almost completely upside down for about half a lap, trying to get out of everyone's way. But I think he probably feels the pressure of my ultimate scrutiny to drive well. He performs better when he hasn't got that kind of pressure on him. I think it's my fault, really.
Lipka.
Oh no.
Lipka pushing De Janeiro through the bus
that rejoin though.
Oh, that was a little scary.
Little bit, but he was in the middle of it. Don't know where he was going to go with it. Lipka staying out though. That's too bad. De Janeiro looking to hold him at bay, but now Lipka's got a 4-second gap up to Adrian. Working his way up quickly, but still, that is not the way to go about it for sure. And we lost Will already.
He's got to take back control of his dad. I was actually going to.
Oh, is he?
Tell him. I was going to tell him that he's doing a good job with helping his dad. But I wanted to know, like, if the plan was to get him as far up as possible, get him into a comfy spot, and then once Tony took over, go from there. But I'm pretty sure that was how it's done. But yeah, they're doing a good job over there.
Yes, they are. And
household.
Just to take a quick look at where we stand right now, Tobias Gable up into 7th at this point. Take a look at our times. Gonna give us an idea of where people stand with pit stops. So King McGee leading right now. Bourdon in 2nd. Dubin moving all the way up to 3rd along with Dijik. And Wierick. Lucasen in 6th. Again, Tobias Gable sitting in 7th.
Well, there we can tell who's doing the solos. So
yeah,
Bourdon,
a lot of solos here.
Bourdon,
a lot of
McGee,
solos.
Lucasen, Gebel, Kalb, Hurt, Lipka's doing this solo, so kind of a rough bump for him, rough shunt. That sucks for him and De Janeiro.
It does, and I mean, Lipka now all the way back down into 12th, but very fast, and we're going to have to keep an eye. I mean, now already closed the gap to 2.8 seconds behind Adrian. Started out with a little over 3 seconds between the two of them. So he's got clean air right now. Probably going to be able to close that gap very quickly. Still has to make pit stops though. And sitting in 12th, not necessarily going to be our leader at the end of today's race.
Yeah, less than 2 hours, hour and 15 minutes left. And you got 2 pit stops, so there's still some time for Lipka. Sorry, he's got 1 more pit stop for Lipka, but who knows?
And Cher now pulling another drive-through.
Rough. De Janeiro moved himself up into 13th, and Razio hunting him down in that Beamer.
Ostrachar's losing position now. Back in 41st at this point, but into the pits they go. Cher heading in, Buntix, as well as James Nugget Bicing.
There was another Honda off there, a little doing lawn maintenance here at Spa.
We're gonna have a battle for P2 though. Bourdon, Hubin closing in quickly.
Oh, and there's that BMW back marker between them, that Fledge. And Fledge did a good job getting out of the way of Hubin and
letting them both through,
battle.
so these guys can continue to battle, right? That's the hard one you don't like to see is when the back marker is somewhere on the track where, you know, one of the drivers can sneak through and get by, but then it's not a good place for a back marker to be, and you can't really get around him. You can't ask him to drive off track. Here was at least nice, you know, both those guys able to get through so that this battle will be able to line up coming down the Kemmel Straight.
Yeah, and like I said, as a career back marker myself, it is just it's a little nerve-wracking when you have a battle going on and you're like, all right, I'm gonna just let both of you guys go. You know, F it, just go.
You know
right?
what? I mean, you
guys
talk
are having a
about
battle.
you talk about being a lifelong back marker. I mean, you know, I do iRacing now, right? Career back marker. I do iRacing now, and if you ask Dunn, if you ask Bubs, if you ask Red, Chief, any of those guys will be able to tell you. I literally sit in my seat and go, calm down, dude. I will let you by in just a second.
Yeah, yeah. You should hear our VCs. It's the same thing, you know. What are you doing? What are you? I'm like, relax. Give me like 4 more corners, homie. I swear to God, I'll
let me pick the spot, and you'll be fine. I'll let you right on by.
It's like a first date. Let your date pick where you want to go to dinner. All right.
Exactly.
Please. You're gonna pass me, I promise. And then that's where I initiate the brake check, and then I ruins everybody's race. Yay! Yeah, Bourdon, stellar race, man. But he's got all these guys, 1, 2, and 3 still have 2 pit stops to make. So that kind of breeds into and 4. Dijik, he's got 2 pit stops left. So
Bourdon a bit wide.
A bit, a
bit.
Yeah.
Just a hair, and
Gonna let Hubin close that gap though.
Foaming at the mouth right now for that spot.
Great to see an Audi up on podium right now. Something that doesn't usually happen in Box 3. Gonna take the inside. You've been able to close that down on the second part of the bus stop and get through. You've been taking P2 from Bourdon right there.
I got an update from Tony Green. Kind of a little bit of a spin at that high-speed left-hander going downhill. I don't know that corner name. I apologize.
What's that, Bubs? What was that you said? Take a shot? I thought that's what you said.
I think I heard it too. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said in the chat just now. Both these guys cutting around the back marker, not interested in getting hung up. Just gonna go right to the inside. Down the straight, we're going to go side by side. Bourdon not going to give this up easily.
Yeah. You got to think that after Bourdon gets passed at the bus stop, just kind of, you know, a little bit of a cheeky move by Hubin, and now he kind of wants to maybe make another move. I think probably in another lap or so, we see Bourdon take it. From what I've seen driving wise from Bourdon, He's pretty good.
That or I mean, he's always got that option too to undercut the pit stop, dive in. I mean, we got an hour and 11 left. He's still gonna make 2 stops. Undercut the pit stop, get in now, get it clear, and then move your in and let get around it with possibly clear air to hold on to it later.
Yeah, the downside of the pits here is just the sheer length of it,
Absolutely. Another strategy Bourdon could do is just sit behind Hubin for a little while, because the two of them are gaining on McGee slowly. So if both of them could just work together, pull each other through the toe, catch up to McGee, and maybe have a 3-way battle.
I don't see a whole lot of teamwork happening between these two guys.
No, I'm just saying it's an option if they want to use it.
In a perfect world, maybe. But I think that they're going to really try to battle each other first before they try to maybe gang up on the leader. I could be now. Watch. I'm going to say that, and they're going to do it. But I don't think that's going to be how it goes. Kevin Huffman just donated $20 in the chat.
Here we go. We continue to raise that money for the Ukraine, the British Red Cross. Let's take a look at the total right now. Where do we sit, ladies and gentlemen? $743, 74.3%. Thank you all so much for everyone that's donated so far, for everyone that wants to donate, thinking about donating. Don't forget, it's not about the amount. It's about what can you give. It's $1, it's $2, it's $3, it's $4, $5. Whatever works for you. We appreciate it. We thank everyone for being here and watching, and continue to enjoy the next hour and 10 minutes of racing at Spa with Box3 Motorsports as we continue to raise money. Someone just did it, but exclamation point charity in the chat will get you the link you need to make those donations. Let's see if we can hit that $1,000 goal today. I would absolutely love it. I would be celebrating. No one made me take a shot yet.
Oh, wow.
About went bad, but
Greedy.
we've been gonna hold on. Let's go back and take a look. I want to see that again real quick. Coming in
Very
and
close to contact.
way deep, and actually it looked like there might have been a little bit of a nudge right there on that rear corner.
Honestly, help the
but
who've
been able to hold on. Wow, very close to a problem.
Oh, Mr. Zach Brandigan asking about the full-size body pillow, Blue.
Oh yeah, no, it's somewhere out there. And then he commended my I am annoying when I'm in front. That's exactly what I want. I want to be as annoying as possible when
well, if you know you're the back marker, right? Isn't that sometimes your goal, depending on who gets behind you?
I'm talking about just like passing
or in general.
Like
okay.
At Barcelona, I think, in all honesty, Steven, when he punted me, absolutely just got infuriated and decided to send me to the wall. But I held up Zap for a long time before he was able to get past. But as a back marker, you can use it as strategic advantage for a teammate if you're doing a team race. I remember, I think it's Silverstone, Anderson and I were teammates for the Enduro there, 6 hours. And, we decided to, as a back marker for someone, and I held them up a little bit to try to get a little bit of strategic advantage. I didn't drive bad. I didn't drive, like a wahoo. I just kind of, braked a little earlier and time through some corners and kind of parked the car in the middle of the track. And same thing when I was teamed up with John Tracy. He would tell me like, hey, I kind of need you to, cause a little chaos, not, don't wreck anybody out, but cause a little chaos in front of me and I can catch up after the pit stop. So yeah, I mean, as a back marker, blue flag, you could use...
You play the team advantage, right? It happens. I think it... Look, this is sim racing, but I think that kind of thing happens in the real world as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Blue did that to me to help out Tom Foose.
Yep, 100%. I was braking a little early. I was parking in the middle of the track.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta stop for a second. Somebody beat me. Other people had tied me. Now I'm upset. Somebody beat me.
Yeah, Movana with $100.
Movana in the chat with a $100 donation. Now we're at $863. 86% of our goal of $1,000 today. Thank you so much, Movana. Unbelievable. Fantastic donation. Just absolutely thank you for that. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. Folks, we are looking right now though at Bagus and Lewis up through Radiant into the Kemmel Straight as drivers come out of the pits. It's gonna get exciting with back markers in the path. Everybody playing clear. Heading into Lacombe. Less than a tenth separates them. Swinging out wide now. Side by side, not quite.
A little bit in the grass.
Not quite side by side, but these guys are banging for P29 right now. And that's what's so hard is you want to see all the battles, right? You want to catch them all, and it's hard to catch all the battles that are happening on track today. So much great driving from all of these drivers.
They're quickly catching Pickett too. They gave the 7/10 in the last couple corners, so that's going to be a three-way battle coming up.
Yep, Pickett right there in the pink pig, that Porsche. I say it every week, but it's still true. The pink pig Porsche. Say that 3 times fast. Not going to work out for you well.
Oh,
Pickett's now going way wide. Oh, and Baggis breaking way deep to get ahead of Pickett.
And that's an advantage that Mercedes car has. Is that both of those cars, that Porsche and that Mercedes, you can brake. You can brake pretty aggressively. And I think Pickett just kind of lost out to a more aggressive Mercedes in Baggis. And Lewis just pushing him around.
Absolutely. I mean, way deep on Baggis's part to get, but Lewis now also able to get around Pickett.
$140 away from
great driving from those guys. Yeah, we are less than $140 away from our goal of $1,000 today. $863 sitting there for the British Red Cross and their mission to the Ukraine to go help rebuild, reconstruct whatever needs to be done to support those people. Patrick Wilk now, and a bump hard. Patrick Wilk getting passed up by Kostovich. Wilk struggling a little bit down at the bottom of the hill. As more pit stops continue to occur. King McGee up front now into the pits, putting Bourdon in P1. Lipka has found himself all the way back up in P3.
And hell of a drive.
Absolutely. Little bit of a little bit of incident, right? I mean, we saw an incident at least once, but Lipka pushing hard to get back up front. Still one pit stop to make. Gonna get around King McGee. King McGee actually just now coming out of the pits. It's gonna be a race. You gotta know McGee is gonna push, right?
And he doesn't want to push too hard because he doesn't want to screw anything up.
But
now,
3 seconds back,
Lipka
right? So
both have a pit stop remaining too.
Yeah.
So and
Holzer,
that Audi.
Holzer pulling a stop go 30.
Rough. And
speeding in the pits.
If I'm not mistaken.
Holzer held the lead at one point, currently sitting in 34th, and now pulling a stop go 30. That's where things get brutal at Spa.
I love seeing all the tarmac. It's like not the tarmac, the rubber from the tires up on the cars.
Mm-hmm.
I always think that's really cool for these long endurance races. Yeah, 1 hour and 3 minutes left. Kev points out in the chat. This battle for 35 and 36 goes on 0.1 seconds between the Beamer and the Ferrari there. 207 and 784.
Garzinski leading right now.
Angry chubby guy in underpants.
I honestly thought it was you for a minute.
No. That was quite a Twitch name.
It is quite the Twitch name. Jump up real quick though. David Soul leading Andreas Boning.
You would need to put wearing a helmet to make it fit blue.
yeah, that would be me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, wearing a helmet.
Building weird sandwiches.
I love that. I love that Porsche too. That 405 Porsche. It looks great. Stop and go for Volzer.
Yep. And Bourdon now into the pits. So how far back is Lipka? He's just getting rolling. Lipka 9 seconds off the pace. Let's jump up real quick and look. Lipka coming down the hill. Bourdon trying to get out.
He's got traffic in front of him too.
I'm sorry, Bourdon though hung up in the pits just now, clearing the pit speed limiter. So Lipka moving back up into first and already up on the straight. Bourdon dropping back behind Lipka and King McGee.
I'm really hoping that we get this battle of Bourdon and Lipka. That'd be a lot of fun.
With Lipka back out in front, we're gonna go on board with Lipka. I'm gonna let you two gentlemen talk while I take a quick break with 1 hour left to go.
Sounds good.
Before I do that, we're gonna check in one more time. $863.42, ladies and gentlemen. Less than $140 away from our goal. Big ups to Movana for that $100 donation to get us this close to our goal. But thank you to everyone who has donated today. Thank you to these drivers for coming out and supporting this race. Thank you to Will Green and Kevin Huffman for putting it together. Those guys, when it comes to PCACC server building and changing and setting up, those two are fantastic. I know Will's just kind of getting his feet under him with it, but with Kevin there supporting him, those guys did a great job. Thank you for all the donations. And thank you know what? Thank you to all the great people in Ukraine who are fighting for themselves right now. This is what we can do. We're not there. Again, as I said earlier, I'm not a doctor. Blue is not a doctor. None of us are doctors or people that can go help. What we are folks that can raise money and try and allow others to go do that in our stead because we can't put feet on the ground to do so. This is important to me. This is important to the league. And I want to thank everybody for being here so much today. And thank you to Blue and Anderson for being here with me too. It keeps me sane to have some folks to talk to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do this for a commentary for F1. Doing it by yourself, it's not always fun. It gets kind of lonely. So,
sorry, Blue.
It's been awesome. Yeah, I mean, you know, I tried to suck you in there, but it didn't work.
Just one
didn't
real
dangle
quick.
the carrot well enough.
Real quick before I step away, Shen's in the chat. That donation link should work into tomorrow, sir. Don't you worry about it. You're not able to donate right now. We're still happy for folks coming and watching because, listen, if you can't donate, that's okay. You're here supporting the drivers that are driving for this. You're here supporting the people that donated. You're here to throw your support behind what we're trying to do. Share the link with friends, family, whoever you can. It doesn't matter. If you can't donate, we don't want you here only because you can donate. That's not what this is about. This is for everybody. For those who can donate, thank you so much.
As I said in the beginning of the broadcast, I just love the amount of people that have gone out and already put together, you know, Ukrainian-style liveries. I know there's some comedic ones out there, if you really look at them. But just in general, just the amount of support that's going on from all the drivers and the livery makers out there, it's amazing to look at.
We'd probably I know what some of them are. Yeah, the puck food.
Yeah, I know the three of us know about the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the thing is, in order to see that, we have to go into replay mode and like find the car and then move the camera around in free mode.
Yeah.
Like it's not just there, right? But yeah, some of these guys put a lot of work into their liveries to just bring this here today and show their support. So again, it's about your abilities and about what you can do to show support. And if you can do anything like that, make liveries, come and race, commentate, build it, set up a server, each their abilities, right? So this is what I love about this community is we all come together. We decide we want to do this. And in 2 days, again, Will Green, Kevin Huffman put this together for the community and for everyone to come together around this situation.
Yeah, and it's been tons of fun too. That's the other important part. At least from my point of view, I'm not racing. I'm not getting spun out or spun around or constantly passed, but it's still a lot of fun. Man, these guys are having a lot of fun. But yeah, just getting a lot of love and a lot of love for that, which is awesome to see. We appreciate everybody that's in there. Even the trolls like Dunn and I think Red was in here at one point in time too. So little bridge trolls that we have. But yeah, it's enjoyable. And I could have sworn Molson said I'll be right back. Like it was gonna be a break.
Yes.
Yeah, but I haven't had a chance yet because now.
Oh, there he is again.
Because Blaine Hall and Bourdon are now going to battle, and I'm taking a look at chat here. Thank you so much, Randale Racing, Alexander from the number. I'm sorry, 405 Porsche. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on track today. Gonzock 46. couldn't make the full
Gonzo.
time, too many mistakes. Well, there's a K at the end. That's why, you know, it could be Gonzo. It could be Gonzo
Gonzo
K, or it could be Gonzok. You know what I mean? So, been up
Bourdon
almost
just
20.
passed,
it's
Bourdon
Chalice.
just passed Hall.
I think that's how you pronounce that.
And Bourdon gets around Hall. Let's jump back. I'm sorry, I was looking at chat, folks. Let's jump back and take a look at it. Gonna shoot the inside, coming up the Kemmel straight now into Lacombe. Able to clear easily and deep braking in that McLaren to get around Mr. Hall.
Yeah, and that was the battle of Halbin, I believe it was. And Blaine Hall just not able to defend, but I think he's pretty quick himself. So
But Blaine doing
either
fantastic today, currently sitting in 4th, right? I mean, the guy's done a great job running.
Him and Halbin.
Yep.
So-
And Bourdon, we've seen some great battles with Adrian Bourdon today. Again, another great driver. Would love to see more of him. Hope he sticks around. And now Bourdon getting up on the back end of King McGee. Only 8/10 separating these guys.
A back marker in there. And you got to think Sharzinski is going to have to, yeah, there he goes. He goes a little wide. Let's Bourdon and Hall through there. Good job by him. Kudos to peeling away from that battle. Getting this to be fun.
But Bourdon and Hall going to continue to scrap, but again, the gap closing up on King McGee was a little close to the back marker, held him up a little bit just outside that 1 second mark right now. But we'll continue to keep our eyes right here and see how this goes.
Yeah, Lipka, I think he's 7 seconds. I want to say 7 seconds away from the 2, 3, 4 back.
8.8, 8.9.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, he got a nitro boost, right? He found
A little bit of a kick. Right?
Yeah, he found that.
Well, we
that
played Need for
star in
Speed,
Mario
Blue?
Kart. What?
We played Need for Speed, Blue?
Yeah, we're actually in Fast and Furious. It's all about family.
Papa Greeny had another prang. I'm headed back into the driver's seat, Will says. Will about to be back out on track. We'll see how he does. Jose Toledo pulling a drive-through penalty.
Rough.
Track limits getting people at Spa today.
Dude, track limits or pit limiter?
Pit limit is usually drive-through 30.
Yes.
Or stop go 30.
Stop go 30. Yeah.
Just make sure that pit limiter sign stays intact. We know what happened.
I don't want to talk about that.
You want to talk about how somebody blew it away at Brands Hatch and y'all just sped through the pits like it was the rip.
Absolutely.
It was
Absolutely.
Spot. It happened at Brands Hatch too. That's funny.
Yes, it did happen at Brad's.
And we haven't talked a lot about him, but is it Kimiak? He's done a fantastic job sitting in 5th. He's got another pit stop left.
He has, and yeah, like you said, we haven't really talked about him much. We've quietly been sneaking up through the ranks, right?
Yeah, we talked about him early on, but nothing too terribly insane. But he's moving, he's vibing, and that's gonna be, I think, for a lot of these guys for the last 53 minutes of the race, it's just gonna be about consistency, staying on track, and just kind of moving and taking advantage of every possible corner that you can. Mistakes and not getting caught up.
Guys, I am actually going to step away now. We're going to keep the focus right here on King McGee and Bourdon now, though. Bourdon closing this in tight.
2 and 3.
Battle for P2. I want to walk away, but I can't.
Go, Molson.
Molson's been trying to be right back for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I can't imagine what his bladder's doing right now.
You guys got this. I will step away for a moment and be right back to see.
I'm just waiting for him to chime back in. He's gonna pop.
Yeah, he's gonna say, "Oh, and here we go, T1."
Yeah, La Source.
Oh, as Bourdon is going to try and make this move right now.
And he's doing a great job of cutting really close into that wall and taking a really aggressive line through La Source or T1.
Oh, but he couldn't make a stick for Eau Rouge.
No, King McGee just shuts the door a little bit on him. They're so close.
Yeah.
Holy,
I couldn't be that close going through Eau Rouge and Radillon.
They've either raced with each other before, or they trust each other to do this. Look at this, too wide through here. As Bourdon's gonna make a move. That was a nice, clean.
Just broke later.
Yeah, and he's just got more confidence in the car.
Absolutely.
Right now. And not a knock at King McGee, but I think he's doing this solo, so he's ran this for a while. They both are. They're both solos.
Yeah, after a while, I could speak from experience here. Running those 2-hour stints, it definitely wears down on you.
Yeah, not easy. And Hall taking advantage of the kind of backup here as he's getting a swing wide from McGee. And there's some back markers in here. I think that's...
Yeah, Hall makes the move stick.
Yeah,
pushes
Bannock,
McGee down into 4th.
Bannock kind of clogging up the battle here. But he should be moving aside.
Oh, was that a little bit of contact? Oh, yeah, it was.
There was a little bit of contact, but great job by Hall, that Audi, red and white Audi, to maintain on the track. That could have been a lot worse than it was. I think Bannock just broke a little early.
Yeah, it threw everyone off that was behind him.
Yeah,
and that happens. People have different braking points, and what their comfort level is.
Yeah, anecdote of a back marker of a blue flag. It happens, man. We apologize profusely, but King McGee and Hall eventually moves up to that 3rd spot. Still in that 3rd spot, actually, I should say, as he's trying to overtake Bannock here. Bannock almost making contact.
Almost made contact with Hall, yeah.
The bus stop. Just gonna try to get away.
Well, I missed all the action.
Yeah, we had some
you missed a few. There were a few passes.
I see that. King McGee now sitting in 4th with Blaine Hall up into 3rd. Again, I'll take an Audi on podium. I love to see it.
Yeah, and a lot of that was set up by, we talked about Huban for a lot of the race, but Hall, I thought Huban was going to be the better of the 2 drivers, and Hall has obviously heard me and proved me wrong. He's done a fantastic job taking over this last stint. He's still got a pit stop left, but
over the inside, he knows McGee is getting that toe.
Yeah, and that sweet toe, man, right through there. It's so much fun with the toe. But
you said
so
that on purpose just to mess with somebody, didn't you?
100%.
Yes.
Yep.
There's always a method to blues madness.
But Hall's holding off. Hall's holding off Lee McGee, and that's not necessarily an easy feat to do. He's got James Bison coming up.
McGee running in 2nd most of this race today, so to see him back into 4th at this point, a little bit different from what we've seen throughout the rest of it. And as you said, Blaine just trying to play defense right now and keep McGee at bay.
Yeah, and if he can get Bison to kind of clog that spot up, and yep, there he goes. Bison gonna impede the progress of McGee, and there we go.
Let's be fair.
The progress.
Let's be fair. If we were to jump back and take a look at that, Blaine didn't give much choice to Bison to get out of the way either.
No, it was pretty aggressive. And I know that tonight when I hop into a server with James and I play all the time, and he's my on-track rival for season 1 and coming up in season 2. I know that we're going to probably hear about that. That move right there, we will probably hear about.
Little aggressive to be sure, but again,
it was time of the essence.
Lee McGee, not slow. Yeah, but Lee McGee not slow. He's going to close this gap up to Hall. And we're going to have another battle here very quickly.
Yeah, and then Bourdon has just kind of ran away with 2nd place. So
Campos leading DeLuca now. Back in P22.
And there's that team, that SOP Esports.
Oh, and they end up hitting each other.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Commentator's curse. I'm so sorry.
Oh, and both of them into the sand. Let's jump back up front, though. Again, as we said, that gap's going to close. Hall now only leading by 7/10 over Lee McGee.
And Hall has done a fantastic job to just push himself past McGee, and that gap is getting bigger and bigger, almost a second now. So, and that's Altroot. He's a part of the Box 3. He's part of the Box 3 server.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, kudos to those 2 guys. They've been pretty stellar and pretty instrumental as far as getting their car where it is right now. I think Bourdon, Verdon really wants to catch Lipka. I think he's probably foaming at the mouth to get that first place, but he's got a ways to go for sure.
He does. He has a ways to go, but he has closed the gap a little bit. I mean, it was over 13 seconds, as you said earlier. Now down, it was under 12, now sitting at about 12.1. So he's closing slowly, certainly trying to get there. But right now, our final battle is going to be for P3 at this point. Blaine Hall opening it up now over a second over King McGee. Blaine really pushing that Audi to its limits.
Yeah, and seeing what he could do through Eau Rouge and Radeon in the Audi, lowered clearance car, and he seemed to handle it pretty well.
Panic off track.
Panic and Bicing there, it looked like?
No, Bicing's past him.
No, yeah, looks like it's another, that's Soul?
Yep, they did. Got to push into the corner. Hard push into the corner.
Are Soul and Bicing using like a similar livery, just different car?
I think so, yeah.
I think they are.
Yeah, because Bicing now coming up on the back of Ostrachars.
That's the second time I've mistaken Soul for Bicing.
Me too. Don't worry. Yeah, you're good. In all honesty, Bicing's Season 2 livery would have worked for this race because it's blue and yellow.
Black Honda with the Ukrainian flag on the front and sides, looking fantastic. Pure black. Patrick Wilk now leading Sharita.
Yeah,
Panic yellow flagged again.
These lower, this mid pack, I guess, is kind of fun to watch. Keysar representing Box 3 Motorsports, Porsche. And some of these guys already have their pit stops done. So, Kellick, DeLuca, Sharita, they all have their pit stops done. Shares got his pit stops
Selleck was just yellow flagged as well, though, so keep an eye there.
Well, the problem with that is that stint timers are only 40 minutes, so they're going to have to come in at least one more time.
Yep. And Wilk losing a position to that M4 of Sharita.
Yep.
Good move right there at that second part of the bus stop.
We've seen a lot of passes in the bus stop today. It's surprising to me to see such a tight corner. You know, a lot. You got to come on the brakes hard. And I know it's all about outbraking your opponent, right? But it's really different to me to see that much passing in the bus stop like we've seen today. These guys taking a lot of chances through there, but paying off as well.
Lou.
Hoppin just hey, I held off. Hoppin just reversed into our car after crashing, says Gesteven.
Where's Gesteven?
The esports legend Gesteven.
The esports legend Gesteven.
David Soul now fighting off Boning. Great racing today, though, overall. We saw one major incident, of course, in lap 2. Other than that, while we have seen some bumps and nudges, overall just great racing from all these drivers today.
Yeah, I've seen more grinding at a high school prom than this race.
Oh my God, dude, you got us. You got problems. 85% of our goal. We are currently sitting at $863. 86% of
Can I
our
get that
goal.
number one more time?
$863.
I need someone to clip what Blue just said there for a later date.
I will be AF set, so I'll be right back.
Less than $140 to reach that goal today. The reason why we're all here. Remco Ottens, a Box 3 racer, able to move ahead of Boning in the Porsche.
And speaking of
and nudging
our famous
through
Box 3, we have Gable up at 8.
We do. Tobias Gable running in the 8th right now. Again, this is a guy who I don't talk to very often on the, in Discord and whatnot, but a guy who I feel really, having watched him from a previous league, and as we watched David Soul defend against Ottens and Boning now heading up the straight, it's going to get tight coming into Lacombe. We're going to go 2, maybe 3 wide. Tobias is just a fantastic driver.
And consistent. That's
That's
the biggest thing.
That's what it is, right? He minds his business. He stays out of other people's way. He stays out of his own way. And that's not to say he doesn't play defense. What I mean by that is you don't see him getting wrapped up in incidents very often. He's just very consistent. He drives his race, and it pays off for him, putting himself easily top 10 and in league races, usually on podium at this point, has picked up a lot of speed in the last year that I've been watching him, and doing very well for himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, Blake.
I love watching him in the Lexus. Sorry, Ando, but he takes a car that, and Anderson does it too. Kudos to both of you. But he takes a car that's not exactly very strong that Toyota Motorsports has built, and you know they built for TG, and he ended up absolutely running away with part of season 1. I think he's pretty stellar. Taking a car that's not necessarily strong in everyone's eyes and doing a great job. And Anderson does it too in the Lexus. So I strive for that level of experience with that
So
car.
Lipka now into the pits for that final stop. Seabook pulling a drive-through penalty for track limits. Remco Ottens on the back end of David Soul through the bus stop, gonna head it for La Source. A lot of drivers heading into the pits to make that final stop now. 40 minutes left to go in today's endurance race at Spa. I want to thank everyone so much for being here. No, I have it on good authority. It's Spa Frankenchips. That's how it's pronounced. It's Spa Frankenchips. I don't know why it's Spa Frankenchips, except the person who told me that was probably, well, yeah, he was definitely toasted. We were having fun one night. But it's definitely Spa Frankenchips.
Spa Frankenchips. Well,
Frankenchips, yeah.
I've been wrong. I've been so wrong for so long saying Spa Frankenchips. So yeah, no, it feels good to be finally right. Spa
Right?
Frankenchips.
And
Remco
right
setting it
there,
down the
Remco
inside.
sending it up through Lacombe, and Remco Ottens. McLaren versus McLaren, and Remco comes out ahead right there.
I'm just excited to see all the trashed in PCACC discussion. Really stoked for that.
I have a feeling this upcoming season is going to be very intense, very competitive, especially looking at the breakdown of drivers that are going to be in the respective classes. I think there's going to be a lot of fighting, especially in the mid-pack.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh, yo, and special shout out right now. I'm sorry, I got to stop y'all for a minute. The Real Moons, the man, the myth, the legend himself is in the chat. Listen, I love Moons. I just got to shout him out real quick because he is the man.
Did anybody notice Anonymous donated 100?
Somebody anonymous donated $137 right there. Somebody was
What an
anonymous, and we have
absolute
hit
legend.
our $1,000 goal.
With the message of
British-
Molson, you are the man.
Who said that?
You are the man.
Is that
the
the
anonymous
message on
donator?
Somebody said that. Well, I am not the man. Everybody who contributed today is the man or the woman or whatever. You know what? Whatever they want to be. I don't care. They're awesome. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much to the drivers who came out for this. Thank you to Will Green for working so hard to put it together. And I'm not kidding, folks, when I say it. I know we've talked this guy up during today's race. Let's go check in with him real
I think
quick.
we've actually probably talked about him more than the race itself.
But the thing is, he did it in 2 days. Like, this idea came up. Somebody brought it up about they wanted to do a charity race, but they wanted to do it in F1. We're like, look, we don't do F1 races, but let's see what we can do. And Will just took it and ran with it. Right?
That poor car right now, though. Oh man.
I know. But he just ran with it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and last time, it was kind of a bummer last time that we, the charity enduro, we had some falling outs with people that weren't able to make it, and it wasn't nearly as successful as this, but it was still successful, and it was still fun to do, but man, this has been a night and day difference.
Well, and that's what we talk about, you know, to the drivers, to the guys that are watching, and to the drivers that are here today that maybe just joined for this event, as we watch Ostrachars take Boeing through the corner. That's what Box 3 is about, right? It's community first, it's sim racers second. That's what we do. That's the goal. That's what we do in our community. We want to know, what do people want to race, right? That's why we do things like, hey, what tracks do you guys want to see this season? And hey, what about this format? It's not just 3 or 4 people sitting up and making decisions. Obviously, there is some of that goes on. You have to, right? You don't have a choice in any organization but to have some sort of leadership. But the point being is, we involve the community. And when you do that, this is the result. This is what happens. You bring the community together, and they build something like this to where we can come in one day, raise $1,000, and have a fantastic race for people to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been awesome.
David Soul struggling right now, just getting out of yellow flag status. Taking a look, though, Selick.
For not doing the final pit stop. We got 35 minutes left.
Pretty sure DQ. My Moons. That's right. Moons is in the chat, everybody. Big shout out to the real Moons. I love that dude. He's just, that guy got me to do some rough shit. So big ups to Moons. I don't talk to him very often anymore, but he knows where I'm at. I know where he's at. If I need him, I can hit him up. He's just a fantastic human being. And yeah, Frankenchips came from Bubs, just so everybody understands. So Soul has got to be struggling. He's yellow flagged again. I don't know what kind of trouble he got into, but it looks like he's dragging tire, because he's leaving marks across the track every time he hits pavement.
It looked like he had hard damage on the right side of that car.
Yeah, something's
like glance.
And just the windshield is, let's go interior. Yeah, his windshield's destroyed as he looks to try and get across into the. Oh no! And bounces Hubin. Bounces Hubin, trying to get across into the pits, turning the bus stop into a show.
Oh no! 30.
You hate to see that.
Hubin holding on though.
Another car that was off. Wow, that sucks. And the way that Hubin's run and teammate Blaine, that sucks. That really sucks.
Lynn, thank you for being here. I know you got stuff to do. You go do that. Yeah, that was a little brutal.
Yeah, and just damage on the car, causing him to create a mistake and then create a further mistake. So
as someone else is spun around.
Yeah, we got another spin up the track. Selick off track right there. Let's jump back and take a look and see if we can catch what happened. Selick getting the nudge from behind.
Yeah.
Luckily not too bad.
Yeah, recoverable.
So Soul now into the pit's going to drop hard. Ostrachars and Sharita about to battle. So in just the last little bit, if we jump back up front and take a look at what's going on here, we've had a lot of folks tossle position lately. Bourdon currently running in first, but still has one more pit stop to make. Michael sitting in second. Again, like you said earlier, Blue, we didn't really focus on this because he's just been quietly walking forward. But still, again, one more pit stop to make. Lucasen, one more pit stop to make, currently sitting in third. Willamont in fourth in the pit now, along with Tobias Gable.
His class 1.
And Lipka, having cleared all stops, now currently running in sixth. And Gress pulling a stop-go 30 for speeding in the pits. So Lipka getting around Gable. We pull back here to see where these guys are exactly. Gable moving through the pits, but again, it's Spa, so he's got a long way to go. Willamont, Lipka now pulling ahead of both of them.
Looks like TG let us know that him and Soul also came together. So Hubin and Gebel both affected by that mistake of that black,
Yeah.
that all black McLaren. So
Really bad mistake right there, and going to cost some folks, which is too bad.
30 minutes. 30 minutes to head down, just kind of going after it, right?
Yep.
That's kind of the game plan.
So Tobias Gable sitting in the pits now, dropping back down towards 9th. Lipka up into 4th, and again, Lipka's cleared all his pits. He's good. No DQ here. Currently running in 4th with all 3 drivers ahead of him, needing to put in
make
pit
another
stops.
stop. Great strategy by his garage, to be honest, to be able to get him where he's at. DG confessing that he says I started it effectively. So
I am curious how far ahead Bourdon is, from Lipka, because I think the two of them are going to be fighting it at the end. But
Well,
it's just a matter of how far they are.
So here's the thing: Bourdon's leading right now. He's 20 seconds ahead of. Let me see. He's 20 seconds up on 2nd, which is 27, 28 now up on Lucas, and Lipka's closing to 40 seconds. Is a minute 30.
Oh, that's going to be close. If he
it's
comes
a minute
in.
30.
They're going to come. He's getting some love in the chat, but they're going to come right at each other, essentially.
Yeah. We should end up head to head here towards the end because, yeah, it's holding at a minute 30 between Bourdon and Lipka right now. So with Bourdon having to head into the chat, or into the chat.
Some love in the chat too.
That's because John loves me. I love John too.
Great.
John's awesome.
Voice.
I'm going to imagine Bourdon's just going to ride out this wave of clean air until he reaches that traffic pack ahead of him. Because he's got 30 minutes left. And he's probably just waiting on his time to have as much clean air as possible before bringing it in.
Yeah,
now,
and the time...
Could he finish in the pit? No.
No.
I forgot the way this track starts. Hashtag Team Lipka in the chat right now.
Real Moon starting the hashtag chants. Here we go.
I'm Team Bourdon just because I like the way he's raced so far today. But
done a great job today. But then again, Lipka's done fantastic as well. I mean, the guy held first for so long. Huge jump, running the 217s, not only in qualification but able to set a 217 during the race. I think really shows.
He's coming in now.
And Bourdon dives in now.
Let's see how it goes. And then Kimiak as well. Kimiak, I mean, for me, he's my driver of the day pick.
And again, like you said,
how quiet he's been.
Quiet and effective.
So quiet. And, we've never had a chance to focus on him, but mainly because he's just squirreled his way forward, right? Currently sitting in
here
second.
He comes into the pits as well.
Yep. Kimiak coming into the pits. Lipka now. A minute 10 back from Bourdon. Let's see where this goes. We'll focus
is
on
be
Lipka.
Close.
This is where it gets fun. We got 28 minutes left. We've got our $1,000. Love to pass $1,000 though. That'd be sweet. Are we past $1,000 yet?
Hashtag close the gap coming from the chat.
Let's take a look. Are we past $1,000? Let me go check that real quick.
I think this last 28 minutes is going to be very tight racing between the three.
I'll tell you what. Who in the chat? Let me get a 1 in the chat if you will match a $20 donation right now. I will throw it in right now. It's gonna match me.
Or beat him. Do a 25.
You can beat me if you want to. I'm just asking who's gonna.
Trackalicious has got a 1. He'll match it. Is that Eric from Trackalicious? Your gent.
Oh, Trackalicious is gonna hit it up. All right,
Absolute
give me a second.
gent.
It's coming.
I'm rooting for your countrymen right now. If it is the Canadian Trackalicious.
Gotta give me a second.
All right, Lipka coming around T1 right now.
And where is Bourdon?
Bourdon's pit marker is now green, so he should be on his way out.
Oh man! Oh man!
Coming down. He's just about to cross
he's just
the line.
getting there.
Oh, shafted again.
By the long pit at Spa. Gonna hold him back. Unable to cross that line in time.
We got a let's go FBR. Kimiak still sitting in 3rd, which is, I mean, awesome if he remains there.
Now it's just gonna be a matter of if Bourdon can catch up. I mean, we gotta see if he took tires or not. I'm not sure.
Hashtag close the gap.
Hashtag close the gap.
There we go. $20 in. Let's go.
I have a feeling Real Moons is going to be now changing it to hashtag keep the gap.
So Bourdon out 8.9 seconds, right around 9 seconds behind Lipka. Now, here's the problem. When Lipka has clean air, we've watched him run this entire race only opening gaps, right? We haven't seen people able to catch him. So the question is he going to get caught up in traffic? Is someone going to slow him down enough to give Bourdon an opportunity to jump up there and close that gap up?
Yeah, and he's coming up on Vanderbruggen in that Porsche. So let's see. That's his first. That's his first kind of contestant on see who he can pass. Maybe get a bit of an aero advantage coming off. Slingshot himself past it. He is getting called the Polish alien in our chat.
Moon's saying him and Lipka go way back. Would love to see them win. I don't know about that. I kind of doubt it, but you never know.
There's the back mark clearance.
Take a look at Luvicito and more now coming up through Eau Rouge and Radion, running for P10.
And good job by that 444 Ferrari too. Both of those guys have done a good job as looking for a top 10 finish.
More swinging outside, not quite enough into Lecomte to pull it off.
I say within a lap, that triple four Ferrari is going to overtake that Aston, that 218.
Eric with the $25 donation today. Thank you so much. Look at that. We're going to push it right up past that $1,000.
Let's go. Let's go. We had a $500 donation.
That's where we started. We're now at $1,045 as we watch these guys battle right to the end. 24 and a half minutes left to go in today's race. Luvicetto and more are going to battle it coming downhill. Some fantastic battles today. Obviously some incidents. That's going to happen with over 60 people on track. Still 44 drivers out there today. Lipka continues to lead. Bourdon in a close second. The gap now open to 9.9 seconds. And there we have another drive-through for Willamont.
Yeah, and box three represent with TG sitting in the top 10. He's
sitting in
P8
eighth.
right now.
Absolutely, doing a great job.
Love to see
Always love watching Tobias run.
I'm gonna get some TG merch for Molson. He's a big fan.
I'm a huge
Big
TG fan, man. I gotta tell you, I really am.
I see some commentating bias here going.
You don't want to
No.
curse him now.
Commentating
Yeah, no, I
bias
know.
would be if I did this and then walked away.
I
Which
gotta,
I'm not gonna do that. So we gotta take a look.
I-
Though, we got a pile up in the
Oh,
bus
no.
stop though. Let's jump back real quick. Dorazio, Cocky, and who else? We got push right
man.
there. And then
And then the rejoin.
the rejoin,
Oh, no.
he moved a little early. Wow.
thought he could maybe get out ahead of
Was
everybody.
trying to
He got
sneak
that
out
car
there.
spun around. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. As we were talking about, I think it was TG. TG got bumped into that. It's commentator's curse. But now I know who to get screen time with. I gotta try to race or be a back marker against TG all the time.
Mhm.
I'll get some solid screen time in season 2.
Absolutely. Or any Audi.
Yeah, any Audi.
Any Audi. As we watch this battle continue right here.
Moore's got
Luvicetto
that
and
inside
Moore.
line.
Moore's got the inside around Carousel. Right down into the turn with no name.
Can
More-
Lewis at a hold on this next corner?
That inside line's a little too powerful, but better exit. for
Absolutely.
Luvicetto. There it is.
Luvicetto able to
Dang.
hold on. Both of them
They
now
got
joined
Hurt
by
right-
Nicholas
yeah, Hurt
Hurt gonna
joining in.
join them. We gonna have a three-way battle for 10th right here coming into the end.
Love a good three-way battle. They're always fun.
I never know whether or not to take you seriously, Blue. I want to, because you sound sincere, but then you say what you say sounds like it shouldn't be sincere, so I never know what to do about it.
Hey, Kipster. Kipster donated $10. We'll change the
Kipster?
conversation. We'll change the topic.
There we go.
You hear the
Kipster with
wheeze
10 bucks, thank you
underneath.
so-
That's
Me
how you
being
know.
a little
You
bit
hear
of
the
a,
wheeze.
Yep. Yeah, you'll hear a wheeze, a slight wheeze. Luvisetto getting a little saucy with Moore. These guys are gonna go 3 wide through here.
Ooh.
Getting real tight now. Luvisetto, Moore, and Hurt. Moore ahead now.
Moore's blocking the inside as he should.
He's trying to hold on to. Yes, he is. And there it is. A little bit of a nudge, but not enough to throw anybody off track.
Just gotta make sure no one gets hurt through here.
And there we come through the bus stop. Tight again. Moore leading out of Luvisetto and Hurt. So Luvisetto now having to play defense against Hurt is going to slow them down, possibly allowing Moore to run ahead a little bit, give him some breathing room. But we're gonna go side by side into Eau Rouge and Radion. Always a good idea at Spa.
Who's got more in the tank? Oh my!
Oh,
wow! And
Hurt able to pull it out ahead just like that.
Wyrick had a DT that he had to take care of, and he ends up in 10th. Looks like 12th, but he was sitting in 5th. That 100 Aston
Oh, wow.
Martin. So that kind of sucks for him.
Yeah, Wyrick coming out now to join this little conflagration. Wyrick ahead of Luvisetto now. Great battles leading into the last 20 minutes of today's race.
20 minutes, your standard pub lobby time. This has been an absolute win, by the way. I've loved every single 3 hours of this.
Just a banger.
Just a banger. Absolute banger.
Damian Moore continues to lead Hurt.
Speaking of banger, Luvisetto dropping down in 12th when he was battling for that 10th position. That's a big oof.
Well, Wyrick able to come out of the pits and get ahead. Damian Moore, Nicholas Hurt battling now. Both able to get around, pushing him back into that 14th position. Or, I'm sorry, 12th position. So Moore and Hurt now into the top 10.
Boning almost causing a little bit of an incident there.
Yeah, he went off track a little bit and rejoined, and it kind of threw everyone behind him off for a little bit. But no harm, no foul.
Yeah, exactly.
Wyrick now looking to close the gap on Moore and Hurt.
Is it a Will Greeny in the pit? Will Greeny is in the pit.
Not sure if we covered this, but we did get a $25 donation and a 10
Kipster with the
between
10 euros.
Eric and Kipstar.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. You guys are fantastic. Continuing to pump those numbers. Sending all our support to the Ukraine. Now up to $1,057. A $1,000 goal during today's race. Moore and Hurt side by side. We're banging doors through. Oh, excuse me, Lacombe.
Oh, man.
Going wide.
Wow. Rubbin's racing here, boys.
Wyrick.
A little bit of a pass
trying
on
to
the
join
grass
in.
by Hurt.
Stop, go 30 for Bannock. These guys will push right to the end of this race.
And
especially
great job
for
by
that.
Finnish driver Kaki there. He just kind of got right out of the way of all of these guys to let them battle. He knows it's not his race. He's sitting at 15th, and he knows these guys are pushing each other pretty hard. So great awareness by him.
Nicholas Hurt leads the pack of 3. Moore and Wyrick behind him.
And we know Wyrick's got the pace to be up with these guys because he was in 5th previously. So
Yeah, absolutely.
we
And
know
now a
that he
slip
can
off track.
get it
Calb
done.
off track, tangling up with Seans Taylor. So now the gap able to close up between Hurt and Calb, depending on how quickly Calb can get back out there.
And solid job. TG sitting still in 7th, so top 10. Actually moves up. from last
Absolutely.
time we were talking about him.
Box 3 represent.
Such a fantastic race today. Great racing, great donations. Everyone doing a great job coming together.
Yeah, when you think about it, we had 60 cars on track. Some of the guys were pretty solo, but we had some teams that were, doubled up.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably gets us to like the 100.
It's got to get us to 100 drivers. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would think we'd have to beat
Easy.
100 drivers.
That's pretty impressive. It's a lot like our Silverstone. Of course, our Silverstone race was for fun. So, but
Yeah.
this was pretty cool.
Moore and Wirkt now again continue to battle. Hurt able to pull out as these two fight each other. Hurt able to stretch out now to 1.3 seconds. Give himself some breathing room. Tobias Gable now in the gravel, however.
Oh,
Jump back and take a look what happened.
you
He's
hate to
running
see
all
this.
by himself.
that's where Clueless Geezer usually goes, with the gravel.
Oh, and catches curb on the inside and
Yep.
tosses himself off into the dirt. Such a shame to see. Still holding on to 7th, though. He's got clean air in front of him.
And stayed out of the wall. Didn't hit a
Yeah, so avoided
didn't hit an
damage.
armco barrier or anything like that. So
He took the Lexus line through there, as I would say.
Now, we're lining ourselves up, though,
Can't do
gentlemen.
that.
I'm just going to say it now. Commentator curse and all. We're lining up for a last-minute P3 battle as we watch Damian Moore battle Wirkt. Ubin catching up on King McGee right now. They have closed it up tight through the carousel as we go to the P3 in the last 15 minutes. Will there be a podium change before the end of this race?
Yeah, and killer drive by Gubin to bounce back from the run-in with TG and Soul and that McLaren incident for the pit lane or the pit entry, and now get to
I was gonna throw it down the
side
inside.
by side, right on the inside. He's gonna go. He's looking to take it now. Gubin gonna move into P3 that quick.
Look at that. What a move.
Oh, and into the
Great
grass
job.
though. Can he hold on to it? Gonna allow Lee McGee to close in a little bit as Hubin runs into the grass, but now moves himself into P3 in that Audi.
And Hubin taking advantage of every inch of that track.
Yeah, it's a big track too. That's another awesome part about this is that we picked probably the largest track. So, and that Ultra Route Racing is just got to be really proud of that move. And AKM is gonna have to figure out how to come back from that.
Ultra in our chat, looking at we caught P3. He says, yes, you did and made that pass. Wirkt now off track though. Oh, and we've got a massive
no, this
pile-up.
gaggle.
Oh my, let's look in.
yellow.
Going into Lacombe. It is
of
stacked
course,
up. It
yellow.
starts with one bump and everybody's
Lyric.
sideways.
Oh,
And there's more coming in. Get ready. Oh, and the rejoin causes more. Just a conflagration here at the end of today's race. 13 minutes left to go. That is horrible to see. Wow.
it's the last 13 minutes, like you said. People are pushing as hard as they can.
That's the thing. When does it go from an endurance race to a sprint race, right? What's that minute that flips in people's heads that says, okay, I've been playing the endurance game. Now it's time to play the sprint game.
I think it was back when Blue called out the 20-minute mark. It's a pub lobby now. It's time to go into sprint mode.
Yep. Yeah, that pub lobby pace is just going to be different for these guys, and especially for that 1, 2, 3, and 4, and even into 5 and 6. I mean, Kimiak is doing a good job, and Lucasen, both quiet guys, haven't been in a whole lot of stuff. Lucasen's been in a little bit more battles than Kimiak, but Halvin and McGee have been really, honestly, the story, and then Bourdon as well.
Yeah, pretty much the top 5 has been the main focus between this top 5 battle, like I was saying. Throughout the whole race, even, it's pretty much been these guys. I know there's been some incidents that have thrown some people out of the running, but it has been pretty clean throughout these this entire race. So I have to give my hats off to all these guys, especially Cuban, who was involved in a little bit of mishap, but as Blue was saying, really picked it up and pulled himself back into this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was it him or was it Blaine?
Actually, it was Blaine.
Got-
It was Blaine
yeah, I
that
think
got
was
into
Blaine
it.
that got bumped. And then I'm getting a report from the paddock that the replay wants to be saved. A lot of drivers are wanting this to get some shots and stuff like that. So if the replay could get saved, that would be
What
an
replay?
epic Hoggers moment
Of
the
the
race.
of the broadcast of the race?
No, of like the race.
I think just the race file.
Oh, mine might save it. I don't know. I told it to save whole races, but we'll see if that happens. Hughes and Boeing now. Boning. Back for P19.
Oh, we got a Wild Huffman back in the chat. We got
Yeah,
more
I'm
news
back
from the
in,
pit
guys.
crew.
Yep. No, I just thought I'd come in, man, and say, you know, I'm super proud of this team, man. It's been an awesome event. Well, you know, what's the donations up to right now? Last I checked, we were close to $1,000.
1050,
Yeah,
I think
we're
at.
1070 we're at right now. Mux Kuth
Oh, wow.
in with 10 British pounds. Thank you, Mux Kuth.
Yeah, it's been awesome. You know, I've been a little bit busy today. You know, just want to give shout out to Will for setting it up. You know, SimGrid for, you know, everything they've done. It's been awesome. 10 minutes to go here. Still got some
And-
tight battles.
Listen, hats off to you too, Huff. I mean, like I said, I can throw things out and oh, and we got a bad push. Oh, wow.
Oh, it's tough.
Oh no.
Campos pushing Khaki off. That's a shame right there. So Khaki sitting in the sand. All these guys pushing right here at the end. Wow. That's a shame. But as I was saying, Huff, I mean, look, man, we can, you know, myself, Blue, everywhere we can, we've thrown out to grab viewers and get people to come and watch and to donate. But you really brought us the drivers, right? You and Will working together, you have those contacts and you did a fantastic job putting all this together. So hats off to you as well. You should include yourself in that whole thing.
Well, I appreciate it, man. You know, it's all for a good cause. You know, we all are, you know, praying, if you're that kind of person, for Ukraine. And, you know, I really do truly wish everybody stay safe and, you know, just do the best you can. It's a terrible situation.
100%. We do hold
Fuck
full
Putin, by the
state.
way.
And we've got another bang up in La Source. Real bad right there as drivers stack up. These guys are pushing hard at the end of this race today. 8 minutes
At least
and
you straightened them
49
out,
seconds left to go.
Then just to throw out another shout out, I noticed this before the race started. SimGrid actually put up a announcement on their Discord for everyone that's involved with their Discord. They threw up an announcement for our event, and you know,
Huge shout out to them.
Yeah, thanks for that. You know, we're a new and growing community, and SimGrid's been around for a little while with probably thousands of users. So you know, thank you.
There's roughly 30,000 in their Discord, give or take, you know, plus the tweet that they shared, you know, retweeted, you know, added us, you know, we really do appreciate it, guys. It's awesome. You know, it is for a good cause, so mutual support goes a long way.
100%. What happened to my...
The chat is chat's getting pretty excited that Lipka is holding that #1 spot down. They're getting a little antsy here with a little under 8 minutes left.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to figure out where my mouse is and what's going on here. There we go.
Red, the captain of the chat. Accidents happen, guys. Let's not take Twitch chat, please.
It's all right. It's all for fun.
We're doing fantastic whelp cakes.
Now, today has been a great race. There have obviously been some larger incidents. Things happen, especially with this many drivers on track. But again, this is a fun race, right? This is about bringing people together for a good cause. This isn't about points. This isn't about standings, things that when you sit back and think about it, at the end of the day, how much do they mean? Right?
Right, man.
So, Hughes, as we watch Hughes and Boning going to go at it again. Will Green now making the pass back here. Take a look back at that, getting around Bagus. Will looking to move up best he can today.
that poor car. Oh my
It
god.
is looking rough, but still able.
Oh no.
That
Still
Mercedes
able to make
behind
it
it,
work.
not much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody looking rough today, coming in the end of the race.
All I can think of is that GIF of those guys at the Japanese racing league, and they're like beating on the hood of the car, and they're like using flex tape to tape it together. That's all I'm thinking about. That's what's
Was
going
it
on in
leaking
Will's
water?
paddock right now. What?
Was it leaking water?
No,
Oh,
they were
okay.
just banging on the hood to get the hood to go down. And
I thought maybe with using flex tape, it's because it was leaking.
no,
Put the
no.
flex tape. Water in it.
It holds my heart together.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh man.
We still got a battle though. Hughes and Boning here at the end. Hughes and the McLaren looking to keep Boning at bay for P19.
Connor Hughes, part of that AKM Racing, that his other McLaren teammate was part of, from what I remember. The one that just got passed by that Audi that we were talking about. I can't believe I just forgot. Yeah, hey, Lee King McGee. That was the other AKM. Thank you.
Oh, okay, gotcha. There you go. Yep. Lee King McGee. But right now, Hubin holding on. 5 minutes left to go in today's race. Lipka continues to lead out. Bourdon in second in the McLaren. Hubin sitting in third.
Hats off to Bourdon. That was 5 minutes left. I don't want to jinx him too much, but it's pretty much settled. I'm liking that drive from Bourdon. He's talented guy. So is Lipka, pride of Poland apparently. In the chat, people are loving him.
Misha Filipiak about to be under pressure by Will Green. Will looking to gain as many places as he can before the end of this race today. Continuing to push forward and closing gaps everywhere he can.
Oh, very cool little background of AKM Racing. It's ran by Lee's dad back in 2006.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah,
That's
a
awesome.
little family affair.
Family affair. We like seeing those. I mean, look, we're big supporters of Will and
Tony.
Will and
Yeah.
Tony Green. So any kind of family thing like that where it brings people together, I think is absolutely fantastic. Michael Kemsiak now under pressure from Lucasen again.
I believe that's another pole too.
I'm sorry?
It's another pole. Polish
Pole.
driver.
Polish driver.
Gotcha. It's racing. You say pole, and I'm like, no, Lipka's on pole.
I know.
What you're talking about.
Yeah. more Kubica, less Lewis Hamilton.
There you go. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Lunadix, first time in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you joining us today. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go at our 2.4, 2 hours 24 minutes at Spa. Fantastic racing today. Obviously some incidents. You know, here's the thing. I mean, it's, you know, as sim racers, we all get upset when we're involved in an incident. Somebody catches us out. We end up getting caught. You have to remember, I don't see that this race was much worse than what you see in real world GT3 racing, right? Incidents happen. And they happen relatively regularly, right? So you're talking about professional drivers in real life, in real cars, on a real track, causing incidents, causing problems. Then you translate that over to amateur drivers in pretend cars on a pretend track. Wouldn't you expect incidents at that point? Right? Like,
Yeah.
my point being is that folks shouldn't get so upset. I get the frustration. I've been there. Again, I don't run ACC anymore. I run iRacing, but the point is the same. I get frustrated, and I understand that feeling. But at the end of the day, let's remember, it's all for today, especially all for a good cause, and we're having a great time.
iRacing elitism.
Those are some fighting words
I know.
with iRacing. But you know, to
elitism.
piggyback what you were saying, you know, the expectation is, you know, that we're all amateur sim drivers, but I have to give credit to everyone. The first Eau Rouge and Radion was, for my recollection, it was very clean throughout the entire order.
Yeah, the whole first
couple
lap.
laps. Yeah.
So, you know, hats off to everyone, you know, driving today. You know, that's a tough start with everyone bunched up going through Eau Rouge and Radion. So,
Yeah, that could
again,
have been,
hats off.
Could have been way worse. We could have had incidents up and down all around. So
we could have had a
Watched
restart.
the qualifying, yeah. I'm not sure if anyone watched the qualifying series. If you want to go back and watch that,
No, nobody wants to watch the
still.
qualifying series. Nobody wants to watch
but
that.
You do, yes.
No, you
please
don't.
do.
Especially Monza. Nürburgring's one thing. Oh, and we got a car sideways at the top of the hill. Speaking of which, luckily getting out of the way.
So according to Zadra in chat, Patrick's gonna wait for second, so we might have a little bit of a battle.
Patrick's he's gonna back down and see if we can run it here in the last minute.
I think he is the last minute.
Well, right now,
See, there is
Meshiak and Lucasen are battling. We got a battle right here, though. Currently for 5th. I see Zadra saying that, but I don't see that gap closing very quickly for being the last minute of the race either, so we'll see what happens. But we have a battle right here.
30 seconds left. I don't think that Lucasen's gonna have the gumption to get past the Ferrari.
Word
Kimiak.
choice.
Gumption?
The gumption.
Yeah.
It was on my word of the day calendar. I figured I'd throw it in today.
The gumption.
Hashtag gumption in the chat.
Team Lipka.
Lipka now slowing down. Got the blinkers on.
Oh, he is slowing down.
He's boring down for P2. Now to a 5-second gap. Looking to bring it down.
Doing a little interesting racing for sure.
And Lipka finishes in first, but brings the gap down to just under a second. Bourdon is your second place finisher. But we still got a battle back here. Let's watch this to the end right here. Hubin should be coming in third here in just a second. There it is. King McGee gonna take P4.
Great shot.
As
Great drive by
Lucasen
the
trying to get
guys.
around right before the end. These guys running
man.
Almost
so
clipped the bumper.
close. Almost touched him.
Wow.
Right there it is. Mejiak and
Hell of a
Lucasen
drive by
gonna take
Kimiak.
P5 and 6 right here at the end. Throw the
We got the
times up. There
donuts
it
going.
is. Lipka takes the checkered flag at Spa. 2.4 hours. What a race. What a great day. Fantastic for everyone to be. Don't take off right away, folks. We're not done. Well, we are, but not really. I want to thank Huff and Anderson. Huff. I do want to thank Huff, but I want to thank Anderson and Blue for joining me. Both you guys for sticking around the whole time.
Thank you for having me here.
Rubs his eyes and hides behind the microphone.
I was because well, whatever. I gotta go plow snow, so don't mess with me today, okay? But there we are. What a fantastic event. And as you can see right there, 107% of our $1,000 goal. Now remember though, we started off with a $500 goal today. We started off with a $500 goal. We ended up clearing 1,000. 207. Thank you everyone for joining me. I love this. This is fantastic. You know what? It's not just about this race. Again, you do what you can. None of us are going to be going to Ukraine to save lives or do these types of things. It's not who we are. We're not trained. We're not able to do that. So we're going to do what we can. But it's not just about that. It's also about the fact that we've built this community and all these people come together and build this. And I want to thank each and every one of them. I want to thank all the drivers for being here. Again, Blue and Anderson, both you guys for joining me here. I want to thank Huff. I want to thank Will, who just, again, in the last 2 days went crazy, just putting things together. This came out. And I want to thank everybody watching right now. All 60 plus 90, whatever it was, I don't even know, that joined us to watch this today and contributed to all the people who donated. Thank you so much. Exclamation point charity in the chat. That donation link will stay active. It's not like it goes away after this stream is over. So again, guys, thank you so much. We're going to close it out right now, but you guys are fantastic. Thank you to everybody that joined us. Box3 Motorsports. This is what we do. We come together, we build a community, and we support the things that are important in this world. And I want to keep doing that. And hopefully we're going to continue to do that through whenever. I don't know. but I think it's going to be great whatever we do. So
I love we get a couple of puck Futons and a couple Futons go home.
there you
in
go.
the chat.
Awesome.
That's solid.
It's absolutely solid. Folks, again, thank you so much for joining us. For Blue, for Anderson, for everybody involved with Box 3, and for the people in the Ukraine, keep doing what you're doing because you're whooping their asses right now. No bullshit. I keep reading the news, and you're doing fantastic, and we support you. Keep it going. We love you. We are Box 3, and we'll be back at some point. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Коли я ходжу по місті, на мене тиснуть люди. Я бачу їхні руки, я бачу їхні губи. Там, де сонце на стелі, там, де сонце на стіни, там, де сонце на стелі, там, де сонце на стіни, там, де я довго ходжу по місті, мене нервує небо, то є не моє небо, то є не твоє небо. Сонце на стіни, там де сонце на стелі, там де сонце на стіни, там де сонце на стелі, там де щоб не робити те само. Мене нервують люди, ті, що думають мало. Я там, де сонце